going live now?
Probably already are.
Yeah, that was a great way to open it up.
We are live.
Yeah,
we are live.
That was like the first thing.
It just popped up and just said, "Hey,
That was
what
the
up,
first thing.
everybody?"
Put your left hand in,
Fingers on
left
things.
hand in, and you shake it all.
You would be the one.
Yes, we are live. Welcome. Come.
I wasn't
come
done.
Through,
and do the hokey
through.
pokey, turn yourself about. That's what it's all about. Convrs8.
Mic off.
It's over for you, Melly.
I didn't take a nap before this.
Yes.
You don't need a nap.
I
You
do
need to
need
get
a nap.
off our thing.
Okay, bye. Peace.
Bye.
Tell me.
See you next week.
See, I already saw you left, and I get to see you leave twice.
Wow.
That's good.
Wow. That just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on?
This is how we start, man.
Yes.
Me
It's
and
always
Mella
a mixed
fight like
barrel, yes.
me and Mella fight like brother and sister. In
It's
real
not.
life.
It's not all peaches and cream.
Nah, we
like
With
it is
the
on.
breed.
Oh
You
snap!
guys.
I'm on. Oh, let me turn my volume down so I don't be like Mella.
This is a true Hollywood story. Convrs8.
Why you won't be
Yeah.
like me, Darius?
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Y'all ain't nothing without Darius J.
Yes,
Oh.
he's the David Ruffin of our enterprise.
I'm actually not.
I'm just Otis holding it all together.
I let it go.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta do that.
Hey, who was that that
see
rolled
that
in the
pretty
kitchen
often.
and died? Oh,
Blue. You're talking about
Blue.
Blue.
Blue rolled in the kitchen
And
to
he
get
died.
sandwiches and he died.
They really didn't explain that death very
That's what I was like. I was like, why did you just let him roll in the
Did
kitchen
he
and
cook
die?
himself?
That's what I was like. I said, did he just go in there? Hey, y'all want something to drink?
Yeah. Oh my God, Blue. And it's just like, what
happened?
Did he get shot?
Blue
Was there a drive-by
fall
in the
into the oven or
backyard?
something? They didn't even show him in the casket.
They didn't.
Why does
He
it
probably got
supposed
burned
be
to
that
death.
loud?
You know what? He probably couldn't
Because
shoot
the mic is
in the movie,
triggered.
and they had to like cut it.
It's on
aggressively.
autopilot.
Exactly.
They're like,
This
one,
is true.
one more minute.
Yeah.
I know, right? Exactly.
I mean,
it won't. I mean, you're gonna be like out of the crowd. You know what I mean?
They do that in radio talk all the time.
Exactly.
we ain't ready
They tend
to
to
talk.
ignore
We
them.
conversate,
I'm
player.
kidding.
I don't have like a boom
The
to
answer
like
is no.
swivel the camera
Nah, it's
around.
fine, man.
So
Right. That was the correct answer.
So yeah. So you know.
We got a live studio audience today.
Right.
We shooting live
You have
from
some
the
cue cards.
table. Cause I'm ready
got
to
you.
eat. Cause my hit.
I'm gonna tell
Yes,
you
we
what to
welcome
applaud and
Elijah
cheer.
and Sam to the program.
Yeah, she gonna be a
Bars.
future guest. Y'all don't get to see her right now.
Hooray.
We saving her for later.
And this
We
is
saving it for December 2nd.
December 2nd.
So when you come,
Excuse me,
when
live
she
audience.
comes, you know it's Christmas
Excuse me,
time.
live audience.
Yeah.
Samantha
Y'all are a horrible live
Rose,
audience. Y'all ain't y'all
aka
phones.
it's Christmas time when you see me.
Appreciate that.
So yes.
Mel, you trying to be me?
No, I you know how they give cue cards to
Nah, we don't do
the audience.
Usually a flash.
She's being like the showrunner right now.
Yeah.
Live audience.
Armani looks smart with his new frames on.
Yeah, because without my frames, I don't look smart.
Nah, I'm not just saying that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
They're cooperating.
This is why
Okay,
you
I'm
said
done.
you couldn't have me on the show, bro.
All right.
You
I
know,
appreciate it, man. I just got these frames.
It's cool.
Yes, they
Oh
are.
yeah, they are really
Clear.
nice.
Where did you get them from? Like Zenny or something?
Something like that. My wife hooked me up, so, you know, you have to ask her for the details.
They got
I just say
Okay,
that because of
wifey.
a particular design. I saw it on there.
Yeah, they
Oh, yeah?
these rich people frames. I'm just letting y'all know that.
Don't let Darius lie to you.
Rich people wear stuff.
He does that from time to time.
So you got it from like Silhouette.
I told you my wife got out of
Let me tell you something.
I don't know where she got them.
His frames are made from pressurized unicorn tears.
Do you?
Pressurized unicorn tears.
Well, when you
What?
figure out how to pressurize tears,
Pressurized
tears is
unicorn
right
tears?
around the corner.
Exactly,
Really?
because you can pressurize salt water to make iodized salt. Bah, bah, bah.
So you pressurize unicorn tears to
and
make
get the
glasses
unicorn
frames?
salt tears, mold them together
it make
through
glasses. frames.
biomolecular science.
Say that again.
And you get the frames.
Okay.
I just science. Keep it up. I like that. Every time I make a point, I want that to be what happens. Or you got the bombs. Like,
DJ, drop one
Oh,
clues
no,
bomb
let me
for
see.
us.
What is this?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
What?
Yeah.
What was that?
That's clues bomb.
It's the question.
Clues bomb.
No, what is this?
Who did that?
It's called Uncle Nick.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know what that
I
is.
don't have an Uncle Nick. So you
I like
just...
that. What?
You
That's
know?
for y'all version of Donkey of the Day. No.
Wow.
You asked me.
It's coming
Wow.
soon to theaters.
Wow.
Dropping nuggets. No
No
chicken.
I like eggs.
Well, there's no chicken, so I'm sorry.
Well, that's what the song
I just-
says.
I hate you. I hate you.
How many people's on? No one?
Like, yeah, like
How many people don't know about it?
nobody.
Take it, Bessie. Good.
I don't have
What?
Take a laugh.
Wow.
What is that?
That's my soundboard.
That's your soundboard?
Take a laugh.
Ha! You don't remember from
That's
Community?
not what
when
it
James-
said.
Unbelievable. I need
Okay.
to up the autopilot, I think. But it's gonna look weird me doing that. But I'm gonna do it anyway.
What are you doing now?
I'm gonna get all in the camera's face.
My life.
Can I even do it? Can I even do it?
Hey man, somebody get on here, man. Go
Hold
Facebook.
on, let me do it by sharing. I
I'm about to say, switch it up. Go Facebook Live, man.
What?
Go back. I feel the pride when I don't have viewers and stuff like that. You know, as soon as we get on Facebook, we had like a bunch of people.
Because everybody just kind of falls into it.
People don't like to use. Old
Well,
people
man,
don't know
you
how to
guys
use
had already built
YouTube.
your piece on Facebook, so
So
it's
now
a
we
little
just gotta
different
do
than-
it over again.
Yeah.
Do what over again?
Build the base.
Yeah.
Build.
You gotta get a. I mean, once you share this stuff over to, to Facebook, you just gotta, you gotta cross. Shoot, I lost the word.
We gotta get that
You gotta
producer
cross
account where we
promote.
can do
Yeah, cross
the
promote.
simultaneous situation.
What?
What up,
cross
everybody? It's Darius J.
Cross platform.
and he's
Mark.
There's a
Steve.
video account.
And
If
I'm
you have
Anna
one,
J.
you can simultaneously share it
Oh.
to multiple platforms at once.
Oh,
Instead of just
well,
one at a
yeah,
time.
we need to we invest in that.
Stephen,
We'll be
I think
set.
she's trying to.
I
don't know what that is.
It's a complicated password. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
send it to you. I don't know it.
Oh.
It's-
Yeah,
So
I
it's
got to say,
complicated.
It's default. It's the default password.
Since we
Plus, if you
still
jump
trying
on the
to get people
Wi-Fi,
to come
you're
in,
probably gonna compromise
This
that.
is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
some.
I'll leave you back.
That's how I go.
Oh my life.
So yeah.
That song stuck in my head. I'm sorry.
Hey, I don't care.
Hello, everyone. This is Mel G from Convrs8. We're going live. I mean, we are live
On YouTube.
right now. We have our live audience back there. In the
Oh
back.
snap! We going live from.
I went live from Facebook. All right, so if you guys
Can't even
can,
say what I thought they
please
said.
go to YouTube.
I just can't say it. I was like, oh my god.
Convrs8.
CONVRS.
The number 8.
Oh, I got
On
Instagram.
YouTube,
Let
so
me go
that
to Instagram and
you
go live real quick.
Can
Yeah, that's actually.
see what's going on. Why are my eyes so red?
Yo, finna go live from
So,
I ain't getting enough rest. I'm live though.
What up, everybody? This your boy Mario Andretti's.
What? Who's that?
Oh.
That's me.
Get it? Get it?
You don't get it. You
And
don't get it.
dread.
Dreads.
My dreads.
I got
So
it.
if you're watching,
So you know
We
what
are
I'm saying?
no
We
longer
on
on
here.
Facebook.
Hey, go to
we are on
YouTube
YouTube.
live. Go to YouTube.
CONVRS.
Go to
the
YouTube.
number 8.
Go to YouTube. Don't
Join
join
the
this.
line.
Join us.
Go to
in
YouTube,
our
Chris.
live
Free
video.
Chris. Oh, both of y'all Chris's. Chris Maxwell and Chris
Please.
Dorellis.
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 It's Dorellis.
Doralis.
No, see,
No,
here we
see,
go again.
you did
Doralis.
with this.
I'm sorry, Mr. Doralis.
Dorellis. Just think of
I mean,
the
way to run that
like
5K
some swag.
yesterday. I would have passed out
Dorellis.
6
That's
times.
it. There you go.
Yes.
That's a good way to think of
You know
it.
what I mean? Yes,
Like
right.
that Iggy song.
We got
I hate
Armani.
The Dorellis.
Yeah, what's going on?
Focus camera before I slap the color
Oh,
off.
slap the.
See what it did though? Did you see that?
It did focus. So
We got Mella looking like Chickadee.
Chickadee.
We got
What does that even mean?
I don't
I don't
know.
even
no man, I make
What does
stuff
that even
up
mean?
sometimes.
I got some glare action on. Like
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna help you out.
He got a halo on his head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Got that
I
Mr.
can see
Clean.
your halo.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's it. That's
Reflection.
when you got good shaving.
This is your future. Like
What's up, good people?
golly, bro. You had
What did you know?
She feel what?
What it be like?
Why did he just call you
I
out?
don't know. I think
Exactly.
you want to focus.
I'm sorry.
Because you in the live audience. You right here, bro.
I did kind of single him out there.
Things are gonna get-
You don't care.
Please, don't be sending for my man.
Ooh, don't be sending.
That's right. Y'all heard it.
If you are watching, we are live on.
Well, these two gentlemen have full
YouTube.
heads of hair.
Go to CONVRS
See, you know,
and tune in. We are live.
It's a
We are
gift
getting
and a
ready
curse.
to get into our
'cause I had to get
topics
haircuts.
on our podcast on today.
Don't try to soften
I'm gonna stay on for about 2.
I wish I
3
could
more
go.
minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna
get
stay
some
on about
haircuts.
2 or 3, 4 minutes. You know what I mean?
And
Just gotta do it myself because there's not much left.
What's up? What's up? Join us, YouTube Live. Convrs8,
we are live right
CONVRS8.
now.
Hold on, what
on
our YouTube
Convrs8.
page,
We
man?
are no longer on
Convrs8,
Facebook.
let's
We
talk
are
about it.
Yeah,
Trying
Convrs8,
to
let's
build
talk about it.
our base on
CONVRS8.
YouTube.
Randomly.
Let's talk about it.
All right,
And-
we're like promoting our promotion.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, we're like-
Hey!
We're like live,
Man,
but
fuck
like
them people, man. They
promoting.
don't know what you're talking
What? We gotta give them content.
We will.
Yes, we will.
I mean, at some point, it seems to be the thing to do.
Yeah.
We'll tell them to skip.
Hey,
to,
man, you think I should just go with the baby face, man, for a couple months, man?
Are you
Nah.
thinking of shaving your face?
No.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about
I haven't
going-
seen you shaved in a while, so.
I'm thinking about going back to 18, man. Because
Oh.
when I shave the hair out of my face, I get carded.
Okay.
Everywhere I go, I get carded.
That's
But
That's
you
a
know,
valuable
then
experience.
Siobhan was like, man, you look like a
That's
toddler, man. I look like I'm robbing people. I'm,
6'5" Tyler, huh?
you know, that's what I'm talking about.
A 6'5"
And then I mush a baby in the face.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
That's how you show your dominance. That's how you let a kid know that who the boss out here.
Yeah, because
I
there's
did
a toddler who runs up
I
to her.
almost told on myself like that.
Yeah.
You
It's on
ain't
YouTube.
babysitting.
Clearly not. There's a reason my daughter doesn't seem to like you.
Nah. McKenna she don't be remembering me. She can
Is that
smell
what
my
it is?
hand good.
Smell your
smell my
hand?
palms.
Smell a palm. Lick a
She's
palm.
not,
Smell
she's
forever.
not a pet.
Hey
That's
man,
not
once
how
you
it
get,
works.
I'm telling you because it's because I'm dark skinned. Man.
No, look at Rob Rosador. She loved him.
Rob looked like a plaything.
All right,
What?
let's get started.
Let's get this started. Let's get this.
So we
started.
finna start recording now.
We should have tagged him in this.
We're gonna start
Huh?
recording now. Yes.
I wish you could tag him in this. He need to watch, but he ain't on social media because he's like an old young man.
An old young man.
Yeah, he is really old
Yeah,
but
he's-
young.
That makes so much
Like
sense.
older
I
guy
thought
now.
Rob was so much older than me. I am older than Rob.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. For real?
Rob is like 30 years old. Like how old is Rob? Like 31?
I think so.
Like Rob ain't old, yo.
Dang.
Like cause I thought he was old. I was like, hold up, you said you were 30? 30?
I mean, that's fine, but yeah, I didn't think
But he
was
got
that
gray
young.
hair like an old timer.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I
It's
mean,
like that
you were really
sometimes.
stressed, or you know what I mean?
First off, I said Jews this morning.
Wow, really?
Did you just say what I think you said?
Yeah, I hope. Yeah,
What happened? What did he say?
nothing.
Nothing.
I
But see, I keep missing stuff with the headphones on, man. Can't be laughing.
He said he misread that to say Judas is Lord.
No, I said Jews is Lord.
Yeah, that's why I thought he said Jews is
That would
Lord.
have been funny.
I mean,
I can see
Illiterate
that.
too?
I can see where the S
Okay.
kind of merges.
Yeah, you look like a.
Yeah, you bet. That's right. Stand up for your man.
Oh,
Of course.
stand up now.
Number one cheerleader.
Justify it,
sitting
even
down,
if it
boy.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
She's still sitting down there.
So we gonna do autopilot the whole time for real?
Yeah.
Do you not like
Seem
that?
like you're not feeling it.
I really don't know if I like.
Let me go get it.
He just likes the camera to be on him more times than not.
Nah, cause it gets stuck. It
You
gets
get
stuck,
stuck
a lot.
in odd places.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I'm not even talking.
Yeah, she ain't saying anything. So
So
you
I'm
were
about to do
talking.
some weird stuff, you guys, and then we'll be back.
Let's restart.
Restart the feed? No, we're not doing
Go ahead
that.
and stop it. That's where it's at. I mean,
Hey, ain't nobody on anyway.
Let's go to Facebook.
What's his face?
Oh, Chris is on here.
Oh, you too.
Who just said? Oh, that's a lot.
Alright, so.
That's so much.
Oh yeah, one picture. on it.
golly, bruh. Y'all tripping.
Alright, I'm controlling the camera once again.
Okay.
It's on
Alright, we
Armani,
back.
now it's on you, now it's on you, now it's on me. Alright, let's do this.
So, are you playing
I'm doing the mellow.
while you're in?
You doing
Okay.
the mellow? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, Apple thing.
Dang, man.
all right.
See, we got more views already.
What are you doing? That's
Hey,
not even a
Chris,
button.
what's up, man?
Well,
Yes, thank
We
you.
live. We live, baby.
We live, like you said.
You something over here.
I'm about to.
Mela
start it up.
is using her software for this.
Yeah, we
For the podcast
we
people.
sponsored by Matt.
Hey, Russ, what's going on?
But see, you can't be throwing in that,
What
that
up?
kind of
Russ is with us. Now I feel good. Now Russ
Yes.
on here.
Okay,
Yes,
Russ,
start.
Now we can start.
I don't
Now
like
we
to
can
start
start.
without Russ.
We can't
Yeah,
start
come
without
on,
Russ.
Russ.
We
It's
can't
not
do it.
favoritism.
Come through.
I mean,
Yes,
he's like our
he's
loyal
earned it.
fan.
Yes, he's earned it. 100%.
Yeah, he has earned 100% of anything that we say about Russ. Russ has been loyal since.
He's seen
Yeah.
literally every episode.
Let's
of
go,
the
Russ.
show.
Love
Every.
Russ.
You did
and he
that,
stays
Russ.
from
We
beginning
love
to
Baby
end.
Zoe.
You got one
love
of Bruce
that.
Bounce for Russ.
Loyalty.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Man,
my bad.
Russ, your daughter got a head full of hair. I was like, good gracious alive. She got a
Good
whole bunch of
gracious
hair. Like
alive.
That's from mom there.
that. Yeah.
She looks just like him, though.
Yeah, I
Only
do.
country,
I
like,
was
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
like him.
yeah.
But yes, we are back on the podcastises.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
finna
we
get
had
ready
no
to go.
podcast
We're
last
gonna get
week.
ready to go
Guys.
live in a minute. We
just
about to go
getting
ahead and
ready.
get into the
We
recording
already-
part of the show.
The audio part.
You know what I mean?
See,
Audio.
you know what I'm saying? I'm just going. I'm good.
Hey.
Before we go live.
What?
You
He
keep
was
trying to
asking
correct me.
questions.
I was
He was
asking
asking
questions,
questions and
About what?
trying
Nothing.
to learn.
Nothing. He's
what we
learning
do.
about what we're
We
doing.
don't do nothing in here.
Clearly.
I'm putting my back on
I
the
was
chair.
Yo, man, when we get
No,
off camera,
light.
remind me to talk to y'all about the stuff me and Ryan talked about today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got some ideas.
Okay.
Ideas.
Oh,
Ideas.
okay. Okay.
Not on. We ain't gonna do
We ain't do housekeeping online.
housekeeping online. No
Okay.
more. Well, not often.
Okay.
Not with this one.
Got it.
Cause somebody might steal.
Nice.
Well, you don't need that. Okay.
You
Excuse
are
me.
a disgusting young lady.
Glad I
Nice.
got that out before we.
Mm.
You know, went live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are unruly.
Nice.
Wow. There is.
She's waiting for.
Okay.
I swear.
All right. I feel good about this.
I feel great. Do you feel
We're
great?
almost
I'm
ate
back
a
in
foot.
the captain's chair, so to
Okay.
speak.
Yeah.
And
Sorry,
I'm back
autopilot
in
wasn't
the other
working.
chair.
There was never another chair.
Hi, I'm Darius Giant.
I'm
And
Zulu.
I'm Stevie Neal.
I'm Sulu.
And this your girl
What's the
Melody. We're supposed to guess.
Sulu is the dude on Star Trek.
I think
Zulu
Chris
is-
just said your burp was awesome.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris,
I
that burp was
appreciate
not
that.
awesome. That's awesome.
I thought it was awesome too.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
It's
no
just-
comment.
Better out than in, they always say.
That's what Shrek
Yeah.
always says.
mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
I wouldn't even listen. What y'all say?
Nothing. It's time to start.
I keep blanking out. I'm
and
trying to
getting
like
distracted.
focus my mind.
Is it the headphones?
I think it is because it's like the first time I ever like been clearly able to. I feel separated. You know what I'm saying?
It
Like
sounds so good. It's
yeah,
in
like
your
I keep
mind.
just like I'm just up here like, dang man,
It's really
I
good.
think I can hear what Armani about to say.
Dang, before I say it.
That's how good it is.
To the point where it's a production
I don't
problem.
even know how I'm gonna go back. Like I don't know how I'm gonna put
What
my
is going on
PC
right
back
now?
up with my
What is going on
sound
right now?
forwards.
Easy.
Oh,
Take the
God.
Headphones off. That's how.
We spent $30.
I don't want to leave this.
And clearly it shows.
Like, Bella always do this to us.
I'm sorry. I'm
Takes
trying
things
to.
away.
I'm just trying to.
Hey,
Adjust
Full
some
Sail,
time.
enroll me. I got a proposition for you.
No, you don't.
I do.
What?
I sponsor your school on here for a
I
laptop.
need to saturate.
More color.
You will sponsor them on here.
For 6 months of commercial and advertisement. I even had one of your students in here.
You know what? Let's up the sharp.
Well, that's true.
That's what we're going to do.
Huh?
Can we get this
He's asking for a
Can we get this
laptop.
audio started?
All right, man. My bad. I was trying to talk to Full Sail a little bit so I can get a laptop and stuff, man. So I can learn. I just need a camera. You don't even have to give me a laptop. Just give me a camera.
What kind of camera?
Let me get one of them.
They have 4K mirrorless.
Ooh.
What?
That's actually what I was gonna get if I went with the digital cinematography program, but it was too much.
Oh.
They
just
4K
handing them
mirrorless.
out?
Yes, for the program, and then when you're done with it, you keep it.
Oh.
Yeah, but you got finished.
Yeah.
It's the only.
Dang, I'm finna sign up for Full Sail.
You're not.
All right.
It's hard.
I don't care how hard it is. You think I ain't been to school before?
It's a master's program.
Nah, I don't like school. I was actually talking to a sister about how I don't like school. I like.
He's getting distracted.
Hey.
School didn't like you either. So.
Hey, Full
It
Sail.
did actually. It
It
did. The people cried when I got rid of it.
Yeah, the people, not the school.
Oh no, Miss Jackie in the registrar's office. She was sad to see me go. She was trying to find every way to keep me, but I had messed up so bad.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold up, that might be incriminating. No?
Yeah, that's not.
Never mind.
So they didn't miss
Miss
you?
Jackie.
Yeah, because I was supposed to be talking about this stuff per se.
Oh my
Not in
gosh.
a sense.
Darius has always got a story that
A story.
involves him doing something partially incriminating.
No, this was not partially incriminating. This was
I was trying to be
Hey!
nice.
Oh, yeah, we have a jam-packed show for you guys.
I open to start recording. Bump these
Please,
people.
thank
Wait
you.
till we get ready.
Wait,
What?
What?
go.
What happened?
I'm ready.
All right, y'all ready?
Mm.
We finna start recording it.
What's
5,
up?
4,
6.
1. What up, everybody? This is Darius J.
And I'm Stevie Neal.
And this your girl Bella G.
with special guests.
Armani Marie.
Hey! Wait.
That was so low.
Armani Marie.
Armani Marie.
Armani Marie? That's not. I can't say my name like
Sound
that.
like he was finna shoot a bow in the air and kill somebody out
Wow.
You just have to jump off the A cliff. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
guys.
Hey, Armani in here. Hey! We just killed your eardrum.
That's right. You're deaf now.
Yeah, you definitely.
This is Convrs8.
Yeah, because Quake listeners will
And we're about to talk about.
But this is Convrs8.
This is Convrs8, guys. You know what I'm saying? What up?
We are back from Destin.
We
in
are
one
back.
piece.
In one piece.
Well, actually, I'm just
Actually,
the
the
top half
hurricane
talking
didn't
right
even
now.
touch Destin. It just kind of gently glazed over some wind that way.
Oh,
Pretty much.
Some raindrops, but it was nice
that's what
and
happened.
clear.
Yes.
Had
There were
it.
people at work that were like, I wasn't going to make it. Like, I wouldn't even get in the city. It was
Yeah.
like, you were mistaken.
And people at my job was like, "Yo, what are you guys thinking about going to Destin? You know there's gonna not be
There's
there. when we get
devastation there.
there." And we showed up, and
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful, man.
Look great on the pictures.
Hung
Oh,
out,
thank you. Thank
hung
you.
out with my friends. You know,
Yeah, man.
had fun.
People's jealous tears were delicious.
It was. It was.
Wow.
I just feel like that's what it was. It's like, oh, you're going to Destin? Oh, you'll never make it. Oh, I want to go.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Right,
That's exactly
right.
what it was.
Oh goodness.
But we here, you know what I mean? We are Convrs8. We are a show of variety.
That's
We
right.
come here to deliver our takes on topics and our ideas towards things that are going on in society today. We are about everybody from white collar to no collar. Because we believe that regular people make the world go round.
What's your
You could catch us on some of our various.
Darius?
I was.
I said various.
I was just saying what rhymes with that.
Yeah.
You killed my whole flow.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You didn't know? No, keep going.
My various.
Good job, Mel.
She really just murdered my flow.
Well, we are on various platforms. We are on Anchor.fm, of course, for the podcast. We are also on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, just to name a few.
Yes.
And, of course, our main broadcast platform is YouTube Live now.
Yes,
YouTube Live.
Yay.
Yay.
YouTube Live.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody all across the world, come check us out. You know what I mean? I miss you people from the Netherlands and stuff. Come back to see us.
Come back.
I know we seem loud and American. Because we are.
That probably was Keegan doing because you know he international.
I was going to say, Keegan had people coming all from
Keegan's got sauce, man.
Zimbabwe and
lost
Mozambique.
It was like TNT, Trinidad.
Yeah, you know.
It's just like, you're not Keegan. And just slaps the laptop.
So that's what you do. That's what y'all do, right?
Yeah.
Y'all just destroy Jesus as Lord.
Sorry.
You know,
slap my imaginary
we
laptop.
got that on the show. So, you know, how y'all living, Mela G, since you the only lady in the house again today?
Ladies first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, this has been a great week.
I see you got your hair retwisted.
I did. You like it?
Yeah, it look good, man.
Thank you. I
Do
appreciate
you like
that.
Appreciate it.
I do.
I just like to
Okay.
say, yeah, that's true.
Oh, I wasn't looking for validation.
I mean,
Oh,
I wasn't trying to give it to you. Has to be like that.
But no, this has been a really good, like, encouraging past 2 weeks because I haven't seen you guys. Missed you.
So it's been encouraging because you ain't seen us?
No.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
I mean,
I was saying that I wasn't able to tell you how I was living last week because you guys weren't here.
Oh, okay. That's what you should have said.
I was getting to that. But anywho.
it's a process.
So everything is pretty much together for our screening that's happening. It will be premiering November 3rd at 7:30 p.m. on Facebook. But then we have a private event. But
Showing up to an all-gold suit.
It's a RSVP event, so not getting
Oh,
out those.
I'm still picking out my outfit.
You know that's what I've been doing the whole time and picking out my outfit.
Like literally.
I'm trying to top Steve.
side.
I'm trying to top
Oh, okay.
Like
Steve.
literally.
Steve is my
This is
goal.
gonna be interesting.
Like I'm telling you, because he be so dapper all the time. Like he come to children's churches. You like, hey man, where you going? Ain't you doing kids?
I don't feel like changing my outfit. Okay,
Somebody had to do it.
I show up when I'm just doing grunt work. I be like, cut off shorts and t-shirts.
Cut-offs.
Whole times I didn't Kingdom Kids.
Got some jorts.
Exactly. I had some.
I can't.
What I call woodsman shorts. They just chopped off and frayed at the ends.
Oh goodness.
Anyways, so we were planning the event and like God is amazing.
He is.
So
He
amazing.
is.
Because we didn't know how this stuff was gonna come together and how it was gonna get paid for. So we reached out to our network of people and asked them to sponsor for our event, and one sponsor sponsored everything that we needed
sponsor.
to get
What's your name,
everything
man?
that we needed.
We need sponsors.
We working on it.
Oh yeah.
Private
right.
conversations.
Oh yeah.
Private
that's right.
conversations.
That's
Private, yes.
So,
I'll keep it on air.
You can't tell y'all all I see.
but yeah, it was just super encouraging because like it was just so unexpected. Like everything that is coming together for this event, nothing has come out of my pockets for it.
Wow.
Wait,
That's
what?
amazing.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
for our marketing,
That's
like our marketing dollars, to get the, refreshments, hire. Like some people even offer their services for this event,
Wow.
And there's certain there's certain people that we're paying, because we want, quality stuff. But there's other things where it's like they just like, hey, this is my contribution to the event because I just want to be there to support you. Like that. It just blows my mind. Just how God is like orchestrating all of this together. To see this come together in less than like 3 months, really. Because, the idea was back in June or July-ish. And now it's October. And
You got it done.
a lot has gotten done. But I'm just super grateful. I'm excited to see where it's going. Like there's already 50 plus people that's already reserved or like RSVP. So we're expecting at least 60 to 70 people. So it's going to be amazing. I'm excited. We went to see the venue yesterday and I'm just blown away. Like, it's very surreal to me.
You look like you're gonna cry, man.
I know.
I'm
gonna probably be crying.
Give your tears to Jesus.
It's just like, because this is one of my goals for this year. And
Is to cry?
it's gonna, just feel so good to check that off. Like, man, like, I didn't even see this happening, and it happened.
You trailblazed through a whole year 2018
I did.
in Trump's administration.
Mm-hmm.
Be proud of yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Exactly. Because it's hard being a woman out here in these streets.
It is.
They got it pretty tough.
And you have persevered when some people may even thought you would have failed. And you have not failed. You have excelled. Because Jesus is Lord.
He is.
Wow. See how I did that?
Come study the Bible today. Come study the Bible today.
Unbelievable. This is life.
Yeah.
Life for me. Yes.
I know.
Thank you, Russell.
I'm gonna switch it up, man. How you living, Armani? You here? We want to hear from you.
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I can honestly say that. Been a lot of strides, a lot of transitioning I've been doing, but I'm grateful to be in a place where I can put all of my time and energy just pursuing something that I love. So I can't ask for anything better. You know what I mean?
Amen.
Amen.
Yes, out there venturing and doing your thing. Doing your thing. I mean,
I'm just trying to keep up with you guys. You feel me?
Yeah,
Y'all out here doing
Armani.
your thing. Yes.
you doing your thing.
Thank you.
That's good. You know what I mean? How we do?
Oh, yes. How am
I
I
ain't
doing?
told you yet. I ain't called you yet.
Oh, Stevie, know how you doing?
I was about to call my own number, actually.
I was gonna call your number.
What is your
Okay,
number?
I'll sit and wait.
404.
Stevie Neal. How you feel?
555.
All right.
Bam! I do this. This gonna be my new thing. I'm shooting the camera.
Okay.
Well,
From the hip.
first of all, I want to applaud you because you memorized that whole thing. I didn't see you look at a piece of paper once.
I did not.
Come
The whole
on.
intro.
Darius J.
So
I did.
I can't do
Even though
stuff
I
like
threw
that.
you
I have to
off,
read
but
copy when it comes
Good
to stuff
job.
Thank you.
like that. So awesome for you.
Almost here, buddy.
My week has been cool because coming back to work on a short week is always good.
It is.
Destin was great. Unfortunately, caught a little cold with the temperature increases and decreases.
Go ahead and blame it on me, Steve.
Yeah.
I know you
Well,
right.
he probably
What are you
wasn't.
talking about?
I was already talking about how my truck blows snowballs.
Way to put
Yeah,
yourself on the
that
bus.
was-
Yeah, you drive a
before.
good humor truck. Yes, you do. You do. You're the ice cream man. This guy's the coldest
Mr.
AC
Ice Cream
ever.
Man. Y'all remember that song by Mass B? Nah, you know. All right.
Exactly. You you can keep ice like for weeks
Wow.
in your car. It's,
Yes, I
it's
can.
that cold.
I aim to freeze.
So
I aim to-
I'm good at this. I'm like a Western.
wow. Well, so been battling a cold for most of the week now. Trying to get out of it. I'm just kind of dried out right now. That's why I got all this water by me.
Make sure you
in
stay
case
at
I
the
start
mic.
coughing. To be. So yes, that has been going on, and I lost my train of thought.
That's
You know.
good.
Is that
You
good?
lost your train.
Is it?
I'm just kidding.
No.
I just tried to make it keep going.
No.
Can I add some more after you done?
Oh yeah,
She wasn't
absolutely.
finished.
Yeah.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, you go ahead and add it, and then I'll.
So my
Yeah.
store is out and launched.
Your store?
Dreammaker
Yes.
Company.
Yes, Dreammaker Company. Whatever.
Somebody was moving something causing a lot
Probably
of
me.
explosion.
Dreammaker. Dreammaker Company. It has launched. I've got my first customer today. I'm so proud.
Did they pay cash?
No, they paid with their card, and I got even more
Same
profit.
thing as cash.
I mean, it's not. But
So, anyways, yeah, so it's out there. I will share the link.
Do
below.
you got man shirts?
I do have man shirts
That's good.
and hoodies
You
and
got
slow
woman
sleeve
shirts?
tees. And onesies
I'm gonna get
and
one for
phone
my
cases.
wife. Hold up, you got onesies?
Android and iPhone.
You got real onesies?
Yeah, real onesies.
Like
King and
sleep
queen.
in?
Yeah, that they can.
Well, I wouldn't imagine
Pretty much,
you go to the grocery
you know.
store.
As opposed to ones you don't sleep in.
No, baby onesies like that you snap.
Oh, okay. Cause
See, he was gonna get a full grown onesie for
No,
I'm not. I was gonna go with them on
feet
it
on the
just because I
bottom.
knew what
and
you
the
meant.
back. In the back.
Yeah.
He was gonna do that.
Not unless, I mean, I don't think they have
For
any size
Halloween.
in that.
I would stretch it.
Oh. Anyways, so the store is now live.
Walk
There's
in
a
the
lot of people that's
grocery
been sharing it. I haven't even prompted them to. So
I walk
that
in
says
the
a lot
grocery
about the
store.
store itself.
I
It's
come
selling
in the grocery
itself.
store with church socks and church shoes on under my onesie king.
I can't take you seriously.
Not many people can.
All right, but yeah, so that's all I wanted to add. You know, it's
I wanna make sure you
live.
talk
Go
to that
by.
mic.
Thank you.
Noted.
Gotcha. You know what I mean? How you live, Darius J? Well,
That's usually I'm coming off my thing, and then I ask you. So
I know. Were you done?
I'm done.
Mel, are you done?
I am. I
You
think
had stuff to add, so are you done? See, you messed him up.
I did.
You got this podcast all over the place.
I don't.
We came back.
I'm
to
so.
the
I
mess.
missed you guys.
We're out of sync. That's what it is.
That's what it is. We got to
We're out of sync.
touch my face. Here, touch my face. Get some sync back. Get some sync. Yeah.
I'm not touching your face.
Touch his
Is
face.
that where sync comes from?
Yeah. All right, we good.
We
now.
good.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm living good, man. Since I just plugged myself in. We still out of sync.
But yes,
I don't know how good this episode gonna be.
it's gonna be great. Once we get it
Come on, man.
rolling.
Positive
Yeah,
thinking.
we gotta get rolling, man. Like I'm telling you, we this is what happens when we have too much time away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been living good. I'm kind of like Steven here. I came back to work the next day after I got back from Destin, and I did not want to go back to work. I just wish I had stayed home just another day to just sort myself out and get myself ready for the work week.
I almost did that.
But I did not. I went straight to work, and I was extremely exhausted for like a day and a half. And then like halfway through my second day back, I had got my bearings, and I realized that I was in a place of employment, so I can earn a living to go back on vacations. And that's what I use work for: vacations and other things I need in my life and things I want. That's
Food, bills.
That's how I stay happy most of
Secondary.
the time. Like
Yeah.
most people, like I ain't happy in what I'm doing, but I just be like, you know what? I can eat what I want, drink what I want, go where I want to.
Mm.
It makes me happy for right now until I get my other things.
Work
Awesome.
to live. Don't
But-
work to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
So once you learn how to use the things in life as tools, they become just that tools, and they don't bother you that much no more. Just a
Absolutely.
little tidbit for you millennials.
Nugget of
They
chicken.
need to
Oh,
learn
gosh.
that. Or at least we need to learn that.
Yeah, we need to learn. I'm not a millennial. My
Get it out,
audience
get it
members
out,
hate me.
get it out. now.
My rightful tag as a Generation Xer.
She used it to insult our age.
I don't care, and I took it.
She did.
I love my age. I don't care how old people think I am or I am. I don't care. I want to get old. If you ain't getting old, you're dead.
Oh,
What?
what happened?
Technically correct?
Right.
That's all the way
Technically.
correct.
I guess so.
You know what I mean?
so.
But, I like, what I'm saying? I like being a Generation X. It make me feel good. I'm not a millennial I'm a millennial by age standard, but I don't feel like a millennial in, like, my attitude.
I see. I see.
Because I'm not really that glued to my phone like that. I leave it places often.
I just think the older generations are jealous. That's my.
They really are not, probably.
I think they are.
Sure.
They are more content. They probably think we slightly more insane. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, my life is good. I'm living good. Home life good. Family good. Everybody still living and kicking. So
Why
I'm
they gotta
fine
be
with
kicking?
that. Huh? That means they still got some fight in them.
Oh, okay.
Some legs rested by that time for them to send them out to the pasture.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm good, man. Let's get this show on the road. Mella,
Yes.
conductor, where you at? Stop playing over there in your pockets. Governor.
So this so let's get into this gap for the WNBA. What are you saying? Like the high school players that's coming out.
Okay, yes.
Good
So this
topic.
was our top topic winner, one of our top topic winners.
Yeah.
The WNBA pay gap. So what brought this on is the fact that the NCAA, well, the NBA wants the NCAA wants the NBA, or vice versa. They want the one and done rule gone.
Right.
Which I feel like it should be gone. Like,
Yeah.
the fact that a kid has to wait a year off of graduating high school to join the NBA, I think it's stupid. It's dumb.
Yeah, it is.
Because kids are just using college scholarships to jump off their careers instead of go to school. That's what I feel about it. So
Wasting money.
exactly, because that scholarship money,
Can go somewhere.
Somebody else could have
Somebody else could have
Exactly.
had it. Yes,
who actually wants to be at school.
exactly.
Right.
There's other ways to launch your career.
Somebody
Which
like Billy Hoyle that is only gonna play college, and he need that to go to school.
was it? That movie, didn't it? Like, anyway. So what the G League, which is the developmental league for the NBA, has proposed to do, or what they plan to do next year, is to offer someone who is graduating from high school, or at least 18 years of age, a $125,000 select contract.
Right.
So they are able to sign a select contract to be able to basically begin training for the NBA instead of having to go to college.
And get paid.
So get paid. Get paid to develop your skills. Get someone in a team system. All that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all well and good, except for the fact that the max salary in the WNBA for the best player is only $110,000.
Dear Christ. Nah, that's just all.
Upsetting.
So
That means
just marinate on that. I want to.
a little young whippersnapper
Whoopa.
can come into the G League and make more than your seasoned star player in the WNBA. That got a stain.
And just to be clear, this isn't a standard contract. This is only for select players who are going to get that 125, or is that like across the board?
I think it's just for a select contract for a kid in that predicament.
Okay.
Like, it's not like a minimum for all players. It's
Right.
just an 18-year-old, if they want to play, if they make it.
Right.
You know what I'm
If
saying?
you're good enough,
If you're
you
good
can
enough
get
to
this
make
much.
the G League, you get $125,000.
Right.
So that's how that works.
Man, WNBA, man, I say y'all
I'm
need
just
to,
upset.
I think y'all need to come to the NBA games, grab the ball while they're playing the game, cross somebody up, and then just throw the ball in the stands. Don't even make the shot. Just throw it in the stands and walk off.
Do it like hot sauce.
Wow. So, I mean, Mella, I see you stewing and brewing over there.
Yeah.
What? I'm just thinking through my thoughts.
Okay. Fine.
But,
You gotta do that.
I don't know. Honestly, I can kind of see why the pay grade is that way, because they're not heavily advertised as the NBA. But at the same time, there are some great players that deserve.
Yes.
And there has been for
Oh my
decades.
God! Like,
For a
are
long
you
time,
kidding me? $110,000. This is their career. They got people to take. They got a family to take care of, or themselves if they don't have a family.
And it's
Whatever.
crazy because no, go ahead.
But no, I was just saying, like you were saying earlier, like the entire WNBA combined is as much as one NBA player makes,
Right. Yes.
or even less than that.
Right. Physically, you can break it down. Like, okay, so max salary for the WNBA is $110,000. I'll round it to $115,000 and give that salary to every player in the WNBA. All that with the 12 teams would be $20.7 million combined annually.
Wow.
And LeBron makes more than that.
And LeBron makes about $30
There are
million. To put that in
dozens of
perspective,
players
this year
that have
alone.
supermax contracts.
Man,
that
let me
make
tell
way
you
more than
something. All them women, and the crazy thing about it, and people may disagree with me about this because this is how I feel. I like watching WNBA slightly more than I like watching the NBA because their defense is amazing.
Mm.
Like I watch, cause just like I be like, for the skill level that the NBA has, they suck on defense.
My gosh!
I be like, oh my god! So all
mad.
you know how to do is shoot.
Yeah.
That's it.
For some players,
No boxing down.
But no, it's like, but now that used to not be the case for everybody. But now every team has just one defensive player.
Literally.
One or two.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
Like
wing player.
But usually back in the day, just like if you watch the 80s, early 90s, everybody did everything.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan played both sides of the ball.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, great players
True.
did that.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They took pride in being able to stop somebody.
Right.
Not only just like Jordan, like I can score on you and I can stop you from scoring.
Right.
Him and Scottie Pippen, that's what they think. They used to fight over who was gonna guard the best player on the team just to shut them down.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And they did it.
And now it's just like they be like, oh, snap you cross me up, let go on by, brother. You know what I mean?
Oh, you trying to get over here?
You know what I'm saying? Trying to get over here, going around. Because just like I watched the Rockets and the Lakers game, I was just like, if this ain't the most sorriest display of defensive basketball I ever seen,
Right.
I like, because some of them players that made them shots, I like, yo, you could have just smacked
I
that.
just feel like it's really just becoming like, I mean, yes, it's a form of entertainment, but I feel like it's becoming purely like entertainment. Like they're actors on the stage performing rather than like, I mean, I'm not going to say as for everybody, but I feel like there are some people that have a heart to play the game, and that's what they eat, sleep, breathe, and you can see it in their work ethic.
Yeah.
But then there's some people that's just like they've been in the game, they're veterans, or they're new, they're rookies, they're kind of in between, and it's just a game for them. It's not like it's a game, but like it's not something they take seriously. It's just something they perform.
And see, that's the thing I like about the WNBA. They take pride and they
Yes.
play hard. Even though they get them sucky salaries, they play
hard.
Yes, they
You
do.
know what I mean? Like, they play hard.
Yes.
And I'll be watching them guys like, good God Almighty, are they giving free chicken in a check after the game or something like that? Because y'all playing hard.
Well, they are getting a check.
Now, not a big check. That's like, I make their money.
Okay.
That's real. But
So yeah,
They make minimum wage almost. I wonder what the bench player make.
Ooh.
see, that's a good
Because not
point.
everybody
Because
makes
that
that.
salary is
Not everybody makes
110.
that.
Exactly, that's what I'm
Not
saying.
everybody makes
some of the
that.
lowest
And that's what I'm
salaries
saying.
in the
Because some of them
NBA
got
is like
some of
$500,000.
and you know another point. Some of them have jobs outside of the WNBA. It ain't all they do.
Well, yeah, because it's like
You see them
loving
in
basketball.
Don't make it
advertising.
Right.
It's like loving
Marketing.
basketball. Some of the great players have to go overseas to earn the rest of the money
Yeah.
that they feel like they can command.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because and in some cases, they get paid more over there
Series
than
in
here.
here.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
and so the point is that the WNBA is a good product. It has
Yes.
value.
Yes.
Okay, so the argument could be made, and I saw some comments, that the WNBA just at the end of the day doesn't draw as much ad dollars and revenue.
But you don't
So-
put any into them.
But the thing is though, we're still we're not saying that WNBA players should make $30 million because the television contracts and everything just
Right.
isn't there.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the share of the money is what the problem is. Like another metric is that the players only get 20% of the revenue. The owners get 80%. In the NBA, it's 50-50.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's
Dang, they
difference.
raping y'all.
Oh, that
Yeah.
just made me mad.
Exactly.
That's
right?
I mean,
That's
I was about to say. So that means the financial infrastructure of the WNBA is set up for the players to fail.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
Ultimately,
they
yeah.
set that system up as if that was not gonna last.
right, and it's
Well,
lasted
yeah.
over 20 years.
Exactly.
It's like those-
So then something needs to change.
Well,
Exactly.
That's where the
That's
players'
where you need
union
to
has
strike.
to come in.
They need to start setting stadiums on fire.
Start a union.
Well, because the NBA has like their own players' association. Like
They
the
do.
WNBA needs to have theirs too. That's like
Strong
the same
rule.
thing when the lockout happened with the NBA. It's like the same thing can happen with the WNBA. It just has to be set up because I mean I understand just as a business person when you start something like the WNBA, like Steve, you mentioned, they don't know if it's going to last. So the owners are trying to take as much of the revenue because in their mind, we're doing all of the risk. Yeah. But now that it's proven that this can last, this can stay around, you can start to share more of those profits. Right. And as players, they can start to demand something like that. But it has to be done.
Right. Maybe they're content.
Maybe, or
not after greedy. That G League post, they not.
And then the thing is, like I saw Erica, shout out Erica Ware, make the comment that they have to sell ads in their jerseys just to make money. The NBA doesn't have to do that. Well, the NBA is starting to do that with a patch on their top left.
Yeah, because I'm about to say you see people have GE, the Wish logo and all that stuff like that. So
so it's starting to happen in the NBA. But the thing is, that even further cements our point. Because then look at all of the arms of revenue for the WNBA. You have television. Yeah. You have ads, full-on ads across their chests. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? You have all this money coming in, sponsorships. And yet, the max salary is only $110,000 for, like, the best players. The Della Dons, the Skylar Diggins, the Candace Parkers, people like that. Yeah. They're only getting $110 from playing. They have to get the rest of their money from their own endorsements. Right. You know what I mean? But, millions are being made. But yet, if every player, let me repeat that. If every player made max salary, it would still only be $20.7 million. ESPN paid $25 million alone for games this year.
Yep.
Wow.
So
they make what?
Yeah.
Like
hypothetically, because everybody doesn't make the max.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. And that's what I was about to say. And that's what I'm saying. And I was like, yo, that makes it even worse because it's like
I bumped everyone up to max.
Yo, I mean, people out here playing basketball and risking just a lot of things just for $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
$25,000 a year. So just think about the people that don't have the names and stuff like that.
Right.
What do they do?
Yeah, they getting paid. Walmart employees get paid. Mm-hmm. Man, that's sad, man.
It is.
That's quite possible.
I just go overseas and play basketball and just hang it up with WNBA till they get their act together.
That's true. I think, like what.
Come back to this microphone.
I'm coming back.
But you talking while you're away.
Erica has said that NBA lacks fundamentals. They get money whether you watch or not.
That's true.
NBA has become, like, you gotta understand, they've been around for so long.
Right.
And now I agree, especially back before superstars are the way that they are now. Back then, like, everybody had to work just to be okay.
Yeah.
And then when superstars started coming in, they were working hard. And then they were exponential.
Yeah.
But then there are people who have that natural talent. And they can shoot a jump shot. But they never once work on their defense. Not really.
Right.
They work on it enough to say that they're working on it, but not enough to actually tangibly, practically get better.
Right.
Because the game's repackaged, like you guys said. Like, it's more about the show. These guys are celebrities now.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
So it's like it's more about the glamour, the scores, and stuff like that, highlights.
I don't like that. I want Bill Laimbeer days back. I want Detroit Piston days back.
But
that was some ugly. That was some ugly basketball back then.
I love that ugly basketball.
That flat
I watch that.
Basketball.
I go back and watch NBA history just to get the. That's my feel, man. I miss old 1995. Okay. I even miss the days of when Shaq was in, because that was the real time.
Those were great days.
Because those were great days.
Prime, yes.
Yeah, because just like people actually had to try to play Shaq. Yep. And the only person I seen that just like through antics and all kind of stuff like that just really discombobulate Shaq is Dennis Rodman. Like, Dennis Rodman just knew how to unfold you. He would bring you out your character.
He was a defensive specialist.
Yeah, like he was like, I'm not gonna only attack you physically, I'm gonna play with your mind. Mm-hmm. And 9 times out of 10, it worked, and it worked well. Even if he got throughout in the process.
Yeah,
he was just like, well, took your big man out. So I don't really have to do anything anymore because you just left. I'm leaving. hey, it's fine. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So yeah. So it's just, and Russ made a comment that they should go on strike and renegotiate the split of the profits, and
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
This,
I agree.
it has to happen because it's not like a pipe dream anymore. It's not that
Right.
much. It's been 21
20.
years.
21 years.
You know, it's been around. Like, yes, the NBA props it up. I mean, the NBA backs the WNBA.
Y'all had Joanna Man.
And are they
You know.
are they aware of
For
this
real?
knowledge?
I think so.
Like
It's
in signing the
public knowledge.
contract, they are aware that this is the percentage split, and they
Yep.
were okay with that.
Yep.
See what in the mill, you know what I'm
Sad.
saying, dominated world, most people look at, most men is like, hey,
Hey,
I hold the checks and you can't do nothing about it.
Or there
Come
won't
up
be
here
a
if you
league.
want to.
Right.
I dismantle the WNBA. And they be like, no, I don't want to not work.
But that's
And the man standing up there like, hey, talk to me again and I burn all the checks.
the problem is like they don't
Sexism.
need the WNBA. These players are good enough to go elsewhere, like you
They
guys have mentioned.
are,
So
yes.
and that's where the key comes in. Like
because they
don't
did
feel
before.
like you have to like it's not like the
Yeah.
NBA
Don't
where
be desperate.
overseas it's a good chance you're not gonna make like the money you make
Right,
in the
you're not.
NBA.
Right.
Overseas players are trying to come here,
Right.
Yeah.
but like a lot more people will definitely play overseas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Women can easily go other places
Right.
and get the same
But
kind
that's
of
what
money,
they were
if not
doing.
more.
And that's what they were doing before the WNBA.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a shame because just like with the men, with the women, I think with the women more so. This is the best basketball on earth being played here.
Oh, they play
like
great
women's
basketball.
basketball.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the best basketball country in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so to have the best, you would think it'd be the best league over here.
Right.
But you know, as far as keeping them here, but it's just the priorities aren't there
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and it's not, and you know, I think it will be a movement where a lot of women go back overseas to get the money that they can command, and it's gonna be hard to field a national team. I feel,
Yeah.
you know, so I think something has to be done about this,
This is true.
and not just on a competition level, but you know, of course, on a women's pay gap level.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
I just feel like the whole infrastructure need to be redone.
it's
Yeah.
like it
Definitely.
can't be this unfair.
yeah.
Because if they're
that's the thing.
offering this, then what are they offering what are they offering the people that's been there?
Mm.
And then at the same time, like we said, everybody's not getting the maximum pay, and now you're paying somebody that has potential, or
Yeah.
Right.
according to their skill level and how they're able to do, they'll be getting this guaranteed amount. But yet there's some people that's making the maximum, and there's some people that's making less than that. So
Right.
it's like, so are you gonna bump them up too? Because I mean, like you're gonna put a whole 18-year-old or 19-year-old, however old they are at
Right.
the time that they chose
Hey,
them
man.
chose them to play for whatever team, and they still get paid
They
at the
still
old
get paid
maximum
$110,000
and $10,000
$10,000.
or less, because it's not everybody's not.
Right.
Right, man.
And on another level, like, I play NBA Live, and what they've done in the last 2 years is incorporate the WNBA into
They
the
have.
game.
Yeah.
So I would feel even cheaper at that point. So they're using us to promote your NBA game, and we still can't get a bigger piece of the pie.
Right.
That's incredible. That's incredibly unfair.
It's what they call it, extortion.
Candace Parker.
Yeah.
Candace Parker, if you're listening, please.
Candace
Yeah.
Parker,
Do
I
something.
met you one time. Remember my face.
Oh wow. You
Yeah.
met Candace Parker?
I met her
Dude.
as
I
well.
met her. I met her one time.
I aspired to meet her.
She was
She's
actually
like
taller
one
than I
of
thought
mine.
she was.
She really
really
was.
tall.
taller-
Yeah.
She's a
taller
legit
than I thought she
6'3".
was.
No,
no.
because I'm 6'3".
I was about to say, I was about to
She
say
walked
no.
past me,
She tall.
and I'm like, no, you're taller than me.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
not
yeah.
6'3".
You're not
They're
6'3".
lying.
That-
Be like one
that's
of
a
those players
lie.
that hide their height. There's players that do that.
Yeah, they
Like,
are.
when she's,
I remember when they tried to pass Kobe Bryant off at 6'8".
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Dude,
You
Oh,
think
no.
he's taller than 6'8"?
No, he's not.
Oh,
No.
okay, okay.
He's like 6'6".
Yeah, I was about to say he's like
He's a legit
6'6".
Yeah, but they bumped him up there at one point.
Like Kevin Garnett, I think he's 7'2",
Yeah, but they say he's 6'11".
but he's 6'11".
Yeah,
like
and then
Kevin
you look
Durant-
at
Kevin
him.
Kevin Durant, yes,
He's 7 something.
he's 7'1".
But
they keep trying to say,
he's
"Oh
6'10".
yeah, he's like 6'10". Like, dude,
No.
that dude's 7'1" at least.
He towers over everyone he walks by.
Exactly.
The argument was Michael Jordan was really 6'4".
Really?
That's what I heard.
Hey,
I
look,
mean, I don't know, but I
I'm about
heard
to
the
say,
argument
but,
was
you
he
know,
wasn't actually 6'6".
Hey, he might have been, but that Jordan.
Well, he can play either way.
Right.
He was amazing.
Okay.
That makes him even more great.
Exactly. He can play either way.
Like, you were so good, they made you 6'6".
They just bumped. They gave you
Because
two
they used to
digits.
say, like, on his profile on one of the games, like, had him at 6'8". I was like,
no, that's a stretch.
Yeah, I
Because
was like,
the
this
next to
is
Pippen, I mean,
yeah, I was like, yeah, not that
Yeah,
big.
Pippen's
You were
6'7".
short. Exactly. I
Yeah.
was about to say, you were shorter than Pippen.
yeah. So
Dang, now I think about it.
Oh, wow.
Dang, you was shorter. He was a lot. He was at least 3 inches shorter than
I'm
Pippen.
just relishing this basketball
Same.
conversation. We don't get to have that often.
Yeah, you know.
So Erica says,
Yes.
I don't know what she's responding to, but she says yes because women want to play. You listen to some of these ladies in interviews and they just want to play. They want to do what they love. They will work year round for what they love.
That's what the NBA used to be like.
It's about the game.
But isn't that refreshing? I mean, it's tragic in
Isn't
this
that like
situation.
the tagline for the 2K stuff?
I mean, it's the tagline. I mean, oh man, I got caught up saying what you said. But no, it's fine.
You know what? I lied
Isn't it
to them.
It's in the
tragic?
game.
Isn't it tragic and refreshing at the same time?
It is.
That they love the game so much that they will do this
They
for
would
this
just
money.
Do it for the
But
game.
then that's the purest form of ball, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's a good question, Elijah.
Because that's like what even like what Elijah pointed out. He's like, if the NBA played like the WNBA, do you think they would get paid as much?
Probably not.
No.
Sadly.
Entertainment.
Sadly.
Man,
Right.
but it was more entertaining when they were playing like that.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was, but still, like
There's two sides to that.
It is.
Because it was more entertaining from a competitive
Fundamental.
standpoint.
Head is.
Like people who love the actual game
Yes.
could enjoy it more because you appreciate great defense.
Yep.
Even when it's not your team who's playing it.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like you even look at like the amount of triple doubles that people are getting.
Yeah.
Like
It's a
a
lot.
few years ago, it's like the most you would see in a season from everybody was like 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then like all of a sudden it jumped to like 120 something.
Like, yeah, Russ averages it.
He got
2 years in a row.
over
Yeah.
40 triple doubles, over 41 triple doubles
in a
least.
one season.
Right.
Like that was unheard of
Yeah.
before. Like what was it, Oscar Robinson?
Yeah, back
And that was like what,
Guaranteed.
40 years? I
See,
don't
they
know.
just
I'm
need
sure it
somebody
wasn't
that
that
don't
long.
care
but-
about
in
the
the
game.
50s, 60s.
Yeah.
And don't care about getting thrown out, man.
Exactly.
See, these days, these little kids got these soft bones, man. These little Generation X's, millennials.
Really?
Millennials is coming to the
Generation
game,
X.
So he's
breaking their foot off of
He's
just
speaking
jumping
from
out
on
the air.
high.
I am.
Foot.
Just like Porzingis just
Hello?
discombobulated his
Well,
whole.
you see, Porzingis drops on people. That's how you break people's stuff.
No, Porzingis is just a soft little boy.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of
Yeah,
size opportunity.
yeah.
No,
Nah,
no,
he,
cheap
nah,
shot.
he's.
Melo has
Yeah.
been raised.
I'm still talking, Melo. Respect it.
I'm tearing your
You don't
set
have to
up.
acknowledge me.
Okay.
I'm just
All right, like I was saying, they don't drink enough milk. They always eating candy and stuff.
For real.
They don't eat no vegetables, and they don't
Vegetables.
eat meat. You know what I mean? So now they got a soft stature. If somebody hit them with the basketball too hard, break.
Wow.
That's exactly how they sound. 'Cause
I'm injured.
even like the little boy
I
that
hope
kind of
that's not how
twerked
they
his
sound.
ankle in the
Twerked it?
Boston Knicks
He
game.
twerked it.
Who?
Yeah, whatever. it did look like his ankle did like a little,
Yeah. It actually did.
Yeah, but he would act like he almost died, and then got back in the game and started playing.
You roll your ankle before?
Yes,
Okay.
I did it plenty of times.
That crap
Oh,
sucks.
God.
It sucks, but guess what? I went back outside
Feels
and
like
played
you're
the
on a
next
bloody
day.
stump.
It hurt.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm saying? But I'm a thug. You know
Oh,
what I
is
mean?
that-
I was,
is that what you
I'm
are?
a Generation X. You know what I'm saying? We get back up.
All right.
I really.
You know what I mean?
That's why your
We get
generation
hurt.
was so
We get
small.
hurt just like when stuff gets back. What you mean?
That's why your generation, like, in the span of like human life, the Generation X is the shortest generation.
Because you know what?
Ever.
YOLO.
What?
Because y'all,
Yo-yo.
because half of y'all died trying to
YOLO.
be tough.
I know.
No, I'm just.
You only live
We
once.
just don't know how it applies. That's
You
everybody.
only young
only-
ones.
But
Huh?
doesn't that
You
apply to
only
everybody?
young ones.
Only live once.
You only young one.
Ain't no yo-yo out here. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no yo.
But you know what I mean? Like we fought hard. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody, millennials, just getting taken care of out here in these streets, and somebody always cooking for them and making their beds and folding their clothes and stuff. They don't even know how to wash dishes.
What millennials do you know?
I don't know.
Oh no! Hey! My niece.
Don't get me. I was about to say, don't get me started.
Okay.
Is your niece a millennial?
Well,
No.
but they might be under.
You're right.
Yeah,
They might be. They might.
like let's.
Like, so they
super millennials or something.
They're like generation.
They'll come out
They like
with the terminology.
generation
Z.
Z.
I forgot
They like
what it was.
generation zombie games. Generation apocalypse. Generation apocalypse because it's over after them.
Oh
You know what I
my
mean? 'Cause They're gonna be the generation to blow the world up.
See now y'all.
Skynet gonna
I
take
gotta
over.
find out what's after.
Oh my goodness.
Skynet gonna take over because they were like, y'all ain't running the world right. Y'all ain't got but a set amount of years before the Earth core implodes and destroy your whole world. So Skynet gonna take over for the last few years. You know, they're gonna be ruled by. Then I'm gonna meet Sarah Connors and I'm gonna give some guns and stuff before I die.
Oh.
And
What's going on here?
I don't know.
I'll be honest. I
gotta
stopped
keep
paying
up.
attention.
You gotta keep up because you will lose yourself. Okay, you gotta keep up.
WNBA
So millennials are 34.
This is how it happens on Convrs8.
it don't take much to get.
It's 2 weeks of backup.
Yes, yes.
You know.
Yeah.
How old are you, Darius?
And it all ends with Carl coming back to life.
Carl.
He's
God.
35.
Carl!
Oh, he actually is.
Carl!
I thought he was just claiming it. I was curious.
Just claiming what?
I thought you were just claiming Generation X to be funny.
I really feel like I'm like the last of the
Well,
I'm
you're 35, right?
Yeah.
Well, I believe that's where you were literally the last of Generation X.
But
I think
actually,
we're
no,
the first
actually,
millennials.
yeah, we're the first millennials. Actually.
Oh, really? Is that
Yeah,
what it
because
is?
anything that
81 and older.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I just saw it.
81 and older is on Generation
X.
X.
And
Well, not just
and
older.
82 and younger are millennials.
That ain't so more.
Oh, 81 and older.
Yeah.
Oh,
Younger.
This is Generation
I
X.
see what you did there.
Yeah.
Dang, man. I wish I was Generation X. I'm grouped in with these men.
So, anyways, any last
You just had
thoughts
to crush some spirits, didn't you, Steve?
on the WNBA?
Huh?
I'm happy I brought it up then.
But you know what? I am glad that I'm not so Generation X that I do know
Here
how a
we go.
computer works. You know what I'm saying?
So go ahead and work that MacBook right there.
I know how to work it. I just act like I don't just to
Sure.
make comedy.
Oh,
I can work anything.
is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I like to seem like I don't know things just for people to correct me. I
Yeah.
chuckle in my head a little bit. So it
A
makes
little
sense to me.
bit, not a lot of
I
it.
partially believe you, but then I partially don't.
don't have
I've seen you do that before.
And that's what I do. I like,
Yeah.
so like help me, and then there's somebody come like, oh, this is what you do, and I'm like, I made you do it without having to.
Come here. Oh.
So this teen rapper that was reprimanded.
Who?
We're changing topics
Oh,
because Mello was trying. So
I was about to say.
to be fair,
I was trying to
Who?
scratch, okay?
Lil Uzi Vert.
Wait, what's
no. Okay, so
No.
Cobb County happened. I think last week.
It happened last week.
I think it was last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to say it ain't been.
So-
when I was young,
Last week, about 5 years ago.
it was 5 years ago.
No, it
was
wasn't.
last week? Oh,
It
okay.
y'all are tripping.
Okay, so Lil C Note
Why are we talking about
is
this?
his name.
Little what?
Lil C Note. Little C Note. But that's
I know, I understand, but I'm just saying, little C note. That's like a term from when I was young.
Hey, little C note.
Hey, little C note, come
well. He was accosted by police in Cumberland Mall.
Yes. It
Yes.
was.
At an H&M, in front of H&M.
Of course.
So, supposedly it was for him trying to promote himself, sell some CDs.
Yeah, like,
which you can't
like we
do.
normally do.
You can't do that.
And
Why you
soliciting.
can't though?
Soliciting.
It's soliciting without a license. He probably didn't have a license. All right, well, you know what? No, I'm falling right into that trap. I'm falling right into that permit patty trap. Let me get out of that.
I'm glad you recognize
that. Let me zoom out of that situation. Okay.
Permit patty.
That's why. Okay, so that's why he was accosted on the charges, on the accusations that he was soliciting. Okay, where he was not supposed to. Okay,
Right.
Let me just state the facts. Okay. So the policeman was very rough with him, had him by the arm, yoked.
Yeah, they yoked him.
You know
up,
what I mean?
It had been
What
me
was
at
his
12,
parents?
I probably would have been shot.
His aunt was off camera. She was shooting the video.
Yeah.
He was out there with his aunt. And
People still sell CDs.
Hey, bro.
That's what
Like, but honestly, that was my first thought when the sister tagged me, and I was like, people still selling CDs?
Jeez.
Oh, snap.
What age are we in for
so
So he's 12 doing some Generation X thing.
real?
hey,
I was
that's
just like,
yeah,
I'm about to say, Lil C no standing up to the name.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you still selling CDs, brother?
so the policeman
Better
was
just
just
Spotify.
had him yoked by the arm. I mean, come on, he's already the situation contained. He's as calm as he can be. He's not trying to be. You know what I'm saying?
He was calm.
He was just
Not
like,
what they
okay, can you let me go?
I know my rights,
I know my
officer.
rights.
You know what I
Hey,
mean?
You
That's
know,
what they reported.
but his aunt was going nuts. His
That's
aunt was-
exactly right.
Yeah, they
That's-
reported that he was verbally combative and he actually swung or pushed at the officer.
Let me tell you
So
something.
there's a video of this, right?
So there's a video,
but it didn't show
but it
everything.
didn't show everything.
Cause they actually, it looked like they body slammed the woman with like.
Oh yeah, she tried to approach once the officer tried to take.
Cause when I heard the noise, I said that sounded like a suplex.
Yeah,
Cause I heard somebody some weight hit the ground. I said I don't know who they slammed, but that sounded like a suplex.
I don't know.
So once it was apparent that he was going to be detained, the little C note.
For what? Why you just
his-
couldn't slap his wrist and let him go? That's the thing. I was.
Slap his
don't know.
wrist.
I mean, all right, so once that was happening, that's when the aunt tried to approach the officer, and yeah, she got suplexed, basically.
Yikes.
Yeah, so the issue here is like, are black children, treated more like adults than their counterparts?
Let's take it back to another incident that happened to a young man that was playing with a BB gun and got shot and killed.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
They are. I have been in instances where I have been treated as if I was an adult, and I'm like, police officer,
Yep.
you know, you're talking to an 11-year-old, right? You know what I mean? Because just for the simple fact, they treat us as animals. You know what I mean? Like we don't have any. Like we don't know how to socially say, okay, officer, you are right. Let me back away and go about my business.
Right.
This is the law. Because if you had to just let the kid go,
Right.
I guarantee he would have left because he do know the law.
Right.
And he was like, okay, warning, I'm gone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because obviously he don't been doing this long enough. I know he know what it is.
He
You know what I'm
he
saying?
knows what it is.
So especially, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure his parents versed him on what it is. You know, you're going out here. If you see somebody coming at you, go ahead, shut down shop, get out. Because I don't know a black parent in America that don't have that talk about the P's and Q's of handling police and legal
Especially now,
situations.
right.
Exactly.
Especially.
So, you know what I mean? So, I just feel like it got to be some kind of training because it always seems like officers take out their bad days on people, on minorities. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you were like, dang, he clearly looked like he having a bad day.
Right. Or
You know what I mean?
He was just. It seemed like he was real belligerent about it. At the
Yeah.
point where he knew he was doing the wrong thing. He knew he was being excessive, but it's like I have to be excessive in this situation.
You
know,
like
bro.
that, though. Cobb
Exactly.
County, they did that. That's when we were kids. Like
Yeah.
Cobb County's been like
Yeah,
that.
I'm about to
We can't
say
hear you,
Forsyth County, all that stuff.
Cobb County's
And it's almost like it's and I say this all the time in these situations. It's like whatever you don't know, you fear more. Okay, and so you're outside of these shoes as a white man that all you see out there for black people is they're criminalized, and you know what I mean by the media, by the news, everything, and you encounter a black kid in person, and you just see them as that much less human. You know what I mean? Because you're not in their shoes and you don't know anyone like them. You know what I mean? And so that's the problem. That's a problem. I'm not saying it can't be overcome because it takes a certain amount of understanding. It takes a certain level of understanding.
Right.
But it just continues not to be had.
I get that.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Mel.
I just don't know what runs through their mind when it comes to putting their hands on a kid.
Right.
Like,
you don't even put your hand on
your
child
own
like
kids.
that.
your own kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a child.
Exactly.
And even if it wasn't, you know.
You don't even whoop your own kids, but you come beat the devil out of a young black kid. You know what I'm saying?
We just trying to be
take
great.
That home.
You know.
Exactly. You need.
I mean, it's. I feel like.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I feel like it was one thing if you saw this, you know, young man going around selling drugs and like just gang banging and stuff like that.
They're actually trying to make an honest living.
They're trying to really, yes.
Right.
Even the people, like I think it makes me think about even the people that, you know, are like, you know, when you're at the stoplight, you know, like the people with the water bottles and stuff like that. It's like, you know, like I think I was riding with somebody, I don't remember, but they were saying like the police don't really like tell them to go anymore because they're trying to, you know, be honest, like they're just trying to give water to people, and that they want it, they don't like harass you like, oh, you're gonna buy this water. It's like if you want it, you want it, you don't. And then by the end of the day, they said the whole case they got, you know, money, you know, that they could, I don't know what they're using it for, but you know, it's still, I think like it's one thing if they were out here like causing a ruckus in a sense of just like incriminating to others. But they really try to promote like their music and like be positive and stuff like that. And I don't know what his music was like, but still like I don't get it. And as a child at that, you know.
And another thing, man, like I hate when people say, they have to look at it like you have to. Like, we always have to consider, you know what I'm saying, other people outside of ourselves. Like, well, they may not know how it is to be black. Nah, that's a lie. You've been alive too long. Social media, being in school with other black kids and stuff. You grew up around black. I don't know nobody that go to a totally white school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I live in the South. You know what I mean? So you have experience. You have seen. You may choose to turn a blind eye, but you do know because you try to pick up on the dialect. You try to seem cool. You try to do the culture, but not be the culture. You know what I mean? So I feel like, you know, people need to stop saying that, oh, I didn't know. You do know. You just choose not to act. Just leave it at that. You know what I mean? I would rather you be honest than say you don't know. Because just like I told you before, I hate when people say I don't see color. You're lying. You are lying. Because if you can tell me what color my shirt is, if you can say, oh, that's a nice fuchsia shirt you have on there, sir.
Fuchsia.
You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, so you do see color. I thought you was just colorblind and just
something like that.
Saw the world through dog eyes.
I think people just choose to be ignorant, honestly.
It's easier to choose ignorance than to choose to acknowledge something and then know you're not doing something about it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It makes the person feel better.
That's Jack's home.
And see, and that's a point that I like to make. You always try to make life better for you. But you don't want to make life better for nobody else. Long as the powers are working in your favor.
Right.
You don't care about making it work for other people because guess what? You like your power.
Right. It's a system that's always benefited the majority. So of course you're not going to just come off it.
The majority.
Right. You know, they're not the majority in number, but in, you know what I mean, in structure.
Exactly.
Right.
You know,
because once upon a time they, you know. Well, I can't say that they were the majority, but yeah, they came once they established something, and they brought people under it. Yeah, they gave us that ceiling, so it doesn't matter how many people come up under it now.
Right,
what's set is set. Like we can't change anything on a bottom level. It has to change on top.
What the rest said, if you can't see color, then what you do at stops lights.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Let's go, Russ.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, you see stop signs and green light, pretty good. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like, man, like, we have to think about, like, because it's like, I feel like everything that we do, we have to, like, prep, you know what I'm saying? Knowledge. Like, I feel like, even, like, with the police state, because we do live in a police state. And people say we don't, but we do. You know what I mean? We have to restructure that too, man, because obviously they living off a system that was built to put down minorities. Because just like even like in the Jim Crow system back in right after the civil rights, because after the civil rights was pushed through, Jim Crow said, well, we finna make our own system now here in the South, and we gonna build prisons to fill you up with. To any crime that you do, we will punish you extremely. Right. You know what I'm saying? To the utmost. Like, even to the past of it is ridiculous. Like, hold up, I got 10 years for what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because honestly, in all the bylaws and social structures that they got, prison is free slavery. You know what I mean? That's what it's for. That's what it was built for. Like, because if we can't get them, because back in the Jim Crow days, if you didn't have a job and you were black, it was against the law. So they get to lock you up.
Wow.
That's deep.
You know what I'm saying? So if you couldn't find a job and they wouldn't give a job, also, you ain't got no job, I got one for you. Follow me and put these pinstripes on for me. The ones, not the ones that go up and down, the one go sideways.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
so it's like a trap. It's basically a trap.
It's a trap. It was set up to be a trap. You know what I mean? And and see, that's the thing that, like, you know what I'm saying, people don't understand. And see, people keep trying to fight a broken system. You can't fight a broken system. You just need to, hey, let's throw away this system and start anew. You can't, this is a ship that has 1 million holes in it. You're not plugging all of them. Right. So just let the ship sink, start over. You know what I mean? That's why I say the Constitution need to be burned. It need to be done over with. It need to be done because it was nobody in that room representing minorities.
That's true. It's true.
None.
Nobody.
Yeah.
When they were talking about men and we saw a 3/4 of a person, we were not in that room. You know what I'm saying? Right. They actually put into hey, they are 3/4 of a person. So they don't even count as a whole vote. So, you know what I mean? I think like the whole system, this system that we fight against is broken. That's why like I'm torn with like voting process because sometimes I feel like a chump because I'm too educated to believe in that system, especially on the federal level. Yeah. Because I was like, you asking me to agree with a system that I know is corrupt. You want me to abide by a broken system? I can't do it to myself. It makes no sense. Like that mean I'm wasting my time, and I know I'm wasting it. You know what I mean? So, and even just like it makes me look at like that whole process, and it's like, yo, you see how many things we have come up in the news where it's talking about people mess with the votes or voter registration is off for certain areas in Georgia, at mainly minority rich areas. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, and you think, you know what I'm saying? Like, and even like one person said, and I can't remember, I think his name was Zoe Williams, and he was just like, you think they would give you the power, us, regular people, to change the atmosphere of what they have set up? How could you believe that? Because if they did, everything will always change. Yeah. We will be able to change the scope of America every 4 years. So how can you hold on to that idealism and think that that works? You know what I mean? I think like, just like I tell people like, and that's why when Trump became president, you guys know why I woke up, I was like, I feel good about it. Because you know why? That stuff don't, like my grandfather always said, he said, a president has yet to come knock on my door. He was like, tell me how many presidents you ever seen and touched. He was like, I was like, none. You know what I'm saying? He was like, well, why do you think him being up there make a difference to you? What has affected you is like, you were able to turn around from a problem and say, you did this. It's like, not likely. Yeah. It's like, live your life, live for God, and everything will be okay. Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, what else is there to say today?
Right.
I mean, not much.
I'm sorry,
Thank
guys.
you, Darius.
I feel like I went like.
You did.
You did that. You did
had
that.
one of your deep moments.
Yeah, man.
You went super
This is why I be sitting in my dark room sometimes and just thinking about it. I'm telling you.
Not your dark room.
I do. I wake up in the morning and go sit in the dark room and just
went
All right.
Super Saiyan blue on that conversation.
Anyway, so
ultra instinct, cuz.
those were our topics. Those were our topics for today. But we have a special guest named Armani Marie.
What's going on?
He's right here. So this transition you were talking about earlier. Let's dig more into that. What's going on?
What is the big transition?
Armani.
The big transition. I quit my corporate job.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah.
Stop working for the man.
He's still feeling it. He's still feeling it.
How you to build theirs.
That's true.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I quit my corporate job to try to pursue the things that I love.
Not try. He doing it.
Well, yeah, you're right. I'm my bad.
I don't know why you keep trying it.
Exactly. He ain't trying. He doing.
I'm doing. Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
Correct your words.
Power to the black man.
Yes.
Right.
So, your own business. What is your business? State your business, young fella.
Right now, my
Young fella. Young yellow. Young yellow fella.
I don't know how I feel about any of this. Right now, predominantly, at least immediately, my business revolves around photography.
Amazing photography.
Thank you.
He is skilled.
I do what I do when I can.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that. But of course, I plan to expand it more so because I'm a natural artist. Mel, you've known me for a handful of times.
Yes.
You've probably seen that in multiple aspects. I used to dance professionally, hip hop professionally, correct that. And I used to draw all the time. I do poetry. I just love entertainment as a whole. So I think when I started picking up a camera, it really just became natural for me.
Yeah.
I really wanted it initially just to be able to document my family and to be able to get headshots when I want to. But then after being behind it for a little while, it's been, it's almost addictive.
Yeah,
Just being able to express yourself in different ways and just accentuating the beauty that surrounds you, beauty in people, beauty in what God has created.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's more so where I'm at now, but I do plan to expand into acting as well. I do plan to start hosting whenever I get a chance, and I'm working on my craft in those ways, little by little. So it's a process, but I've been learning a lot because of what I quit my job like a little more than a month ago, and it's just been nonstop learning. I've learned so much from shooting, learning how to shoot, different aspects and techniques, Photoshop, Lightroom. I mean, it's been a journey so far, but I'm definitely enjoying it.
I see you've been you even collab with a couple guys and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was one of the guys I know from my martial arts class. He's an actor as well.
Right.
He writes. He does everything. He's really great. I worked on a short film with him. His name is Ryan Adriel. So he had a film. He needed a couple extra faces, so he tapped me, and I was just like, yeah. And I had a great time. Working with him, getting to know the people that he worked with his team. Great people, talented people. They posted the video, I think, mid last week, so It's out there. It's really great video. I enjoyed working with them.
Cool.
So you learned a lot of things, as you mentioned, but just the whole starting out your business aspect, like, what was that like? I mean, it's one thing to do it while you were working, but what was the jump off point?
Yeah,
to,
just
do it
what
on
the
your
totally
own?
switch gears.
Man, you're right. That's really tough to just kind of jump out because I've been doing business for over a decade. I love business. I first owned my own business with a couple friends of mine. I was 20, and we did pretty well. We of course, when you're in college, first easy thing to do is you host parties, promote parties, and we did it for our own parties, and then we ended up expanding and opened a restaurant. It eventually failed just through us being green to business and how everything worked, but it was a great experience for me. I learned so much from it. So business wise, I've been prepared. I've been waiting for this moment, literally. But the actual jump, that came from my wife. Just to be honest. I love her so much, and she loves me so much as well. She supports my dreams, and it's a lot easier to go after things that you want when you do have a support system that you can rely on, and she is definitely that for me. So,
Shout out to Karina.
Shout out to Good Wife.
GlamSquad210.com. Check them out.
Okay, you better plug.
Yeah.
Plug that good thing.
But yeah, she pushed me to she just wanted me to quit, and that was the end of it. Because it wasn't just like, oh, this is something I want to do. Like, the corporate life was like killing me. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like,
Got to that point.
When you're a creative person and you go to a 9-to-5 and that is your life, you literally feel like you're in a box.
Yes.
You know, like, I've worked in a cubicle and I've nonstop felt like that.
Yes.
Even when, like, I moved to a corporate job and I was in the office 26 floors high, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, okay, I still feel like I'm in a box.
Yeah.
So it's nothing like just being able to just walk out the box and never go back. You know what I mean?
Burn the box down with people in it. No, I was just playing.
I will not.
Like the people that don't want to chase your dreams, you don't deserve to live by.
Oh, dang.
Oh, wow.
That got dark real fast. I'm sorry, guys. I don't
We're
believe
taking that.
that
Easy
kill
real
will take any life from you.
We're taking that.
Disclaimer.
That was like, what
It's
am I,
jokes.
genocidal?
I'm not Hitler. It's just jokes.
So how did you prepare yourself in the switch? Like, not only that, and then once you made the switch, like, have you been presented with some challenges in, pursuing your dream?
Yeah, well, okay. There were two questions there.
Yeah.
Preparing myself with it, there's really no preparing yourself for something like that. You know?
Just like having a kid.
Yeah, just like having a kid.
Hey.
Having a kid, getting
you are a
married.
father. Never mind.
I am.
I like totally slipped my mind for like a few seconds.
Because like
Yeah.
Right.
She loved me when she was younger.
You wish she couldn't move or run
Yeah,
from you.
all I had to do was dangle keys in her face, and she'd be like,
That's true. That's true. She legit did that. And she was so cool with that.
Exactly. And she was like, hey, I'll stay with you for a while. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, little baby.
little baby.
No, she got so much of a mind of her own.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like, I don't even know how to approach you. Take
I
money.
just do the double.
Can I buy you a little?
The double
She
pound.
always tries to take my wallet, so try money next time.
Yeah.
I got $2 for you. It's yours if you just give me a high five.
She give you a high five for free, so I guess.
Exactly, but you have to make her. You have to say, Kelly, give him a high five. I want the high five to come out of just pure, honest awesomeness. It's like, hey,
When's the last time you tried?
Ooh.
2 weeks ago.
Okay, give it a try next time it's here. Just see.
I seen a high five with my wife today, and I was
did.
like, dang, I'm kind of jealous. Because I was talking to a sister, I was like, hold up, wait a minute, I gotta see. Dang, she gave my wife a lot of high fives.
Yeah, because she don't just give one.
She give a lot.
She be giving fist bumps.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, high five, fist bumps, like you bring it, she got it for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, it is kind of like that. There's only but so much you can do to actually prepare. I think one of the biggest challenges that come across, and like some of them are very, very particular to me, but you know, at the same time, it's not. It's just character issues.
Yeah.
You know, when you sit down and you're like, okay, I'm gonna prepare to do something great. And then you actually have to do something great.
Right.
Like
The follow through.
Yeah, the follow through is so real. So many people, like I've always been ambitious. That's something that I feel God has blessed me with. It's something that I even struggle with at times, with being too ambitious, where I can at times just be selfish. But it's like following through that ambition. It's so important. It tests your character. It tests everything that you've allowed to set in motion, in my case, for the past 30 years. All of my habits that I've allowed to come through. Like, I go to work, I come home, I do nothing, I find an excuse to turn the TV on or to be distracted by social media or anything else that I can get my hands on for the sake of a form of entertainment. And then you're like, oh, wait, I have to be protective today because I'm trying to build my own empire. I'm trying to leave a legacy for my daughter. Like, I want to impact and inspire people the same way that I've been inspired through the things that I can do, whether it is photography, acting, poetry, and God willing, it's going to be all three for me. But yeah, you at some point in time you got to put foot to gas.
That's it.
This is so real.
It's real.
I definitely.
I know you know.
Even like for me, I know that moment for me is like approaching. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's approaching, and like the closer I get to it, I'll be like, oh man, I'm afraid a lot of it. And I'll be like, you know what I mean? So, because I was like, yo, you kind of get to the point where like, because I'm a perfectionist just by that's who I am. I think God gave me that. Yeah. And he gave me that as a good thing, but also as a humbling tool. Right. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I want to be so good and want to do things so perfect that I just forget that failure is a part of the process of success. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
A very essential part.
And because if I don't, because I'm so used to winning. And it got to the point where, like, even like I was telling my brother, like, it got to the point where I was so used to winning, I didn't want to lose, and when I lose, I don't want to do it again. You know what I mean? So I just like, you know what? That's stupid. I don't like it no more. Right. When in the inside, I know I still love that thing, but I'm willing to walk away from it because I failed. Right. And see, having that thing and just like what you did, just like, okay, I'm finna walk away, no matter how hard it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna put myself in the mindset to grind for my vision. You know what I mean? To actually start putting the pieces together, you know what I mean? To actually start putting the tools in which you have acquired to say, oh, I got all these tools to build my empire house. You know what I'm saying? So I got my nails, I got my hammers. Now all I have to do is follow the blueprint. Right. Whether if things change, some things may fall through, I still have to build this. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's like something I was like, man, dang, man. When I get to that point, can I just jump off the diving board and dive in, you know what I mean? Just like, no matter how scary it is, even if it's sharks in the water, can I still go for it just to get to that the other side, you know what I mean?
It's essential, man. It's kind of like what Elisha did when he followed Elijah. He burned everything he owned. Killed his animals, fed it to the poor, and was just like, I'm not going back. And to an extent, like, you don't have to, but that mentality needs to be there. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with like, having your job and doing what you do on the side and looking to make it bigger, or if you don't even have the ambition, but it's like when you do, you have to jump ship at some point in time. You have to find a way to do that, and it's not just me. Like, like you said, I'm a father, I'm a husband. Right. Like I have people who I'm accountable to, and like I have to do this, and that's like my mindset now. There's no going back. Like it's so easy to stay in the stability of, okay, well, I know I'm going to get paid on the 7th and the 22nd, and I know it's going to be the same. I know what it's going to look like. I know what bills I got, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the second you jump out there, it's like, man, it's so crazy. It really just becomes. It's not about you anymore. Right. It's about the vision. It's about the people who are relying on you,
Yeah, most definitely, man,
That's so real. Yeah, I definitely relate with you because I remember when I first, like, quit, and it was a challenge. Yeah. It was a challenge to just be consistent for myself, but then also just find, like, the consistent clients.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, and I was in a good financial space, where I had enough money saved up, to pay for whatever I needed, because I did. I was in an apartment at the time, and, I had responsibilities and stuff like that. So I didn't okay, well, I'm just going to do this and hope that God, But I think even in those experiences, and even to now, it's still a lot of challenges and a lot of things that I have to continue to motivate. I have to continue to motivate myself, because I could easily distract myself, or I'll have too much, and I'm like, okay, let me okay, what I have to do, and then also just learning, the process of my contracts, yep. I was like, oh, so you want me to do this labor, but you don't want it now. Oh, okay, now I'm going to do non-refundable deposits. Right. So it was definitely an experience, because it's from those experiences and those failures, quote unquote, I was able to learn okay, I'm not making that mistake again. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and revamp this contract. Exactly. So if you want my services, you have to put this non-refundable deposit down. Whether you choose to work with me or not, I'm still gonna get paid. Yeah. So I think even just in those moments, that was just an example. It taught me there's a lot of things that I have to learn, and I'm appreciative of those moments, because if I didn't accept those challenges as things to grow from and learn from, I wouldn't be in the spaces that I am in today. Right, exactly. So, and I think that's a good point that you said. The challenges are necessary, for growth, and if you choose to, because I feel like at a point in my life, I was like, this is not for me. Film, I don't know. It's just one thing after another, after another, after another, and just to see how this show has come together is just just the validation from God. This is what I have for you, but you were doing it your way. Right. And I think it's just when I submitted, my dreams and goals and visions to God, He made them come to life. It was no longer me, it was Him. Yeah. And I think just trusting God through that process, because you're gonna have some down moments. You're going to have some times where you're just I don't see how this is going to come. Because you have to put a lot of work in. You have to work 1,000 times harder than you would for somebody else, because it's already built. Yeah. All you have to do is go in, clock out, do what you're supposed to do. And I'm a daycare teacher. That's my daytime job. I teach at a daycare. So it's I clock in, I feed the kids breakfast. We, have circle time. We go outside and play. They nap, they eat, So it's a routine. I know what I'm supposed to do from the time I get there to the time I leave. And now, that's 8 hours of my 9 hours, really. At the end of the day, I take an hour break, but I'm still at somebody's job, right. And pushing forward their empire. But I'm okay, I still got to go home and do my thing, because if not, then it's just not going to go anywhere.
In the worst case scenario, you also sleep for 8 hours.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now you only have 8 hours of today to build what you got going on.
Exactly.
That's that's heavy. Yeah. That takes a lot of discipline. That's something I'm definitely continuing to learn. Is just a really.
Man, I'm learning that.
So Chris has a question.
Who is Chris?
Chris Maxwell. He said, "How do you determine that something is worth sacrificing that comfort for?"
Ooh.
That's they had to be Chris Maxwell.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Jeez.
That's a
good question.
That is an awesome question, but unfortunately, I don't feel like that's something that somebody else can answer for you.
Yeah, that's true.
And I hate giving an answer like that, because that feels like a cop out.
But it is actually a true statement.
You have to.
Yeah, that. What for you and the people who rely on you, because for me, and just diving into my life, my wife saw how I was coming home every day. I had no patience. I was exhausted. I was completely mentally drained. I had nothing to give to my family. I have a little baby girl. She wants my attention when I get home. My wife wants my attention when I get home. She wants to tell me about her day, and I'm I need to check out for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just blink out and come back.
Right. Yeah. And it's and who knows when I'm gonna finally come back.
Right. Exactly. Right. You may not see me today.
Exactly.
Right. You'll see me, but you won't.
Yeah. I may need to check out until I have to go to sleep, and then I gotta wake up and go back to work tomorrow.
Right.
For the same thing.
Process that happened over again.
Yeah. you know, Karina told me, she came to me first about it. It was just like, I want you to quit your job. Like, we know that this is something that you want to do. We know that this was always in the plans for you to pursue this.
Right.
You know, it wasn't my plan, because it was actually my goal to have quit my job by the end of next year. And then,
well, look at God.
Yeah, and then look what God did.
Yeah.
He put a fire in my wife. You know, she started looking at things. It was just like, why wait?
I can't have you down in the inside. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, and that's a good thing that you even had a wife that said, you know what, I see what's happening inside. I mean, like, because even to notice, like, man, we strong, we can handle things, and we put on a strong face.
Yeah, we try to act like
we strong, and we got everything, but we feel what's falling apart in the inside of us, but we try not to let the things our family, friends see that we falling apart. You know what I mean? But it's even a good testament to say, like, how in tune your wife is with you, just to say, you know what, I see your pain. You know what I mean? And I can't, being your loved one, I can't allow you to go down this road, because it won't not only be good for you, it won't be good for us.
Exactly. So it's like, for us, that decision, it was almost collective. It was just like, she's like, this is what I want you to do. And it's like, what are you thinking? And of course I had my own, reservations, because I'm like, well, I have to work and I have to provide for my family, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And, I don't know what the sacrifice that, if Chris is talking about something in particular or not, it may not be as big as like quitting his job, but it's like, is it like, it has to be worth it to everybody involved, or it has to be something that everybody's willing to partake in. Because if I wanted to do it, my wife was like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
I probably couldn't just go ahead and quit my job.
Right.
There would have to be a middle ground. There would have to be a conversation to figure out, okay, where can the sacrifice take place?
Right.
So don't just walk in the door and say, I quit, y'all, by the way.
Right. That's another monster I have to deal with when I come home to my wife that day.
Right.
So it's, like,
eating dinner, sit down. FYI, meet you. I quit my job today. Don't do that. I can guarantee that won't go well.
It will not go well.
Well, here's my thoughts. I don't know exactly what that comfort is. I don't know if it's a job or a particular like mindset that you've grown up in or adapted to, or because I'm thinking about the video that I shared in the Convrs8 group about what's her name?
Talking about Viola.
Just like hearing about how she grew up. Just dumpster diving, had to wrap a towel around her neck to keep the rats from like chewing on her, and taking care of her, siblings, and there's a lot of stuff, and everybody has, their own story and how they, got to where the places that they got in. But, with that, I just feel like sometimes we can become a product of our environment if we're not careful,
That's true.
Because, you can look around you like, well, I think about just the people. Well, I'll just talk about, like, my grandma in particular. Like, she's very content, and rightfully so, where she lives. But, like, I just knew that wasn't the life for me. Because I was raised by my grandmas, my grandma and my great-grandmother and my mom. So, like, my mom, has moved out. She's in North Carolina doing her thing and stuff like that. But I just knew, for me as a child, I just knew that this place was not for me. I didn't know what it was, but I just know that I wasn't going to be there for the rest of my life. And I think making that decision early on was like, okay, I just know that I'm going to be somewhere. I didn't know if it was going to be Atlanta, but I just know it was going to be somewhere. And I think that comfort could have been becoming complacent where I was and being okay with working at a grocery store, because that's basically all I had down there.
Well, God kicked me out.
And so I think in determining like what that something is worth sacrificing for is like what you have a passion for, and you are going to fight hard through the challenges and the risk and the failures and the successes to get to that place. Like, because it's a fight, this vision that I had started in 2010. This 8 years later is manifesting. This 8 years of being like going through a lot of stuff as a teenager, going through just mental stuff, finding God in college, him changing my life completely, becoming the woman that I am now, and it's like looking back, it's like, man, I've really been through a lot of stuff, and I feel like at any moment that I just gave up on that dream, I would not be in the positions that I am in today. And I think that's the motivation for me, is just like, I think about what if I would have accepted my environment and I would have become a product of that, who would I be today? And then also, who would I continue to be because of that? Because I feel like I learned a lot of perseverance, through the challenges that I went through. I've learned a lot of honesty and openness and vulnerability because it helps me to grow. Because I'm only hurting myself if I'm not being vulnerable. Right. So it's like, I can tell you anything and you can give me anything, but if I'm not being honest at the core, then how am I being helped? How am I really growing? And being challenged in the areas that I need to be challenged to actually fulfill the desire, the will of God for my life. So I think it's just like, it's definitely like, as you said in the beginning, like it depends on the person. What is that comfort? You have to, first of all, identify what that comfort is. Right. And then you have to really assess, is it worth sacrificing for it? And are you really ready to go on the journey of what it takes to actually obtaining it?
Yes. And also, like, just something real quick that you said, you mentioned product of circumstances. Yeah. That's so real. But there's also another side to it where circumstances become decisions, and now what you are and where you are is a product of your decisions. So, I get it. You're in a tight spot, or, just speaking theoretically, and you have to do certain things. But then at some point in time, you have to make a choice to cut back on one thing. Yeah. Right. So you can put forth to another. Maybe it's not, buying one thing this week with the money that you're allotted, and you're like, okay, this is what my budget says, and I have X amount of money, it's fun money. You take an L this time, and you put it to the side because you're saving up to put it towards something else. And that's just like a small thing. It could, it may not just be money. It could be time. You know, it could be your energy, like building certain relationships. It could be applied in so many areas. So you have to also just be ready to make that decision. And not allow yourself to be held back in this place that you claim that you can't get out of. Right. Just because at one point in time you had to make a tough decision.
Yeah. And even like to just kind of like round out what the question that Chris asked, you know what I mean? Like I got to watch this happen before. Like even like my brother, I'm sharing your life. He was working a job that he wasn't happy with. My brother always knew where he wanted to be. He knew in his heart of hearts he wanted to be a truck driver. He wanted to own his own trucks. He wanted to own his own business. He was working a job. It was eating him alive inside. And he came to me and said, bro, I think I'm finna go get my own truck. I'm finna just quit. I'm finna start my business, and I'm finna go for it. I did not even tell him no. I said, yeah, go for it. Anything you need, go for it. You know what I mean? Because this is something that you've been talking about. Right. It needs to happen now. Yeah. Right. Because if you to the point where you are fed up with your current situation and you see an opening, I don't care if it's small, huge, whatever, take it. You know what I mean? Because God will work it out in the end. And just like to see like, because even though my brother, he make time for his wife, his kids, all that stuff like that. Because it's not work for him, even though he may have to just get 4 hours of sleep and hop right back to it. Right. He don't mind because it's something that he loved doing, and he don't mind. He liked the fact that he able to just, okay, I can just get off my job and go spend time with my kids, make the recitals, all that stuff like that, pick my kids up on the weekend, all kinds of stuff like that, and then I can go back and do my work. You know what I mean? But it's something he loves, so it don't bother him. It ain't like, oh man, I'm losing sleep going to this dead end job that I won't have nothing to do with. He going back to something that got his name on it, so he take pride in it. Right. You know what I mean? So it don't bother him losing sleep, you know what I'm saying, losing hours of sleep just to make time for him. He don't even complain about it. He says, hey, that's what I gotta do. All right. I'm finna go run this last load, and I need to get back by 3 to go spend time with my daughter, my son, or whatever. Gotta go pick them up, all that stuff like that. Because when you have things that you love to do.
Yeah.
It ain't hard. It comes easier to fit things in. You know what I mean? Like it don't seem like a chore because for one thing, you are the control.
Yeah.
You are the master of the situation. So you can move the things that you need to be moved when they need to be moved to accommodate the things that you have going on in your life. So, you know what I mean? I feel like when we reach the point of like, okay, I need to move forward to be in control of this part of my destiny, you know what I'm saying? And not saying I'm totally in control because we do rely, you know what I'm saying, on wisdom from our wise counsels and God, you know what I mean? So, you know, but when God gives you something that he wants you to pursue, you pursue it. Yes. You know what I mean? Even though you may be afraid, we may be like Gideon. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, why me? Go get somebody else. Yeah. You know what I mean? I ain't brave. You know what I mean? Like, but if it's you he chose to do it, you kind of got to do it. Yeah. Because I guarantee he'll circle you around to it, whether you 95 or 35. Exactly. You know what I mean? He'll circle you back around to it, so you might want to go ahead and hop to it while you can enjoy it instead of you being old and decrepit and can't really do nothing about it. You got 2 more years to live and you're going to be in the dirt in a few minutes.
It's really hard. It's really hard to live a life fulfilled when you're not doing what God has called you to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
When you're operating outside of what God called you to do, your life gonna suck. I almost guarantee that. You can fake your happiness because even like I had got to the point where I could say, oh man, I could just do this for the rest of my life. But can I? You know what I mean? But I was like, can I do this for the rest of my life? Can I not do the things I set up for? Yeah. Can I not pursue my social media or my media empire? Can I not pursue my businesses? Can I not do all those things and say at the end of the day when I lay my head on my pillow, I look up at my children, my wife, my loved ones as I take my last breath. I know I'm dying before you, Savon, so, you know, it's cool. I'm going to be 89.
Okay.
Approximately. Approximately.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Right.
That is his
right
preference.
there.
Okay.
If you die at 89.
It's a prophecy or preference. I don't know.
Just high five me. You know
I'm not.
Just lift my hand because I'm gonna have my hand like this. And I want people to walk past and high five me.
I will high five you. I will be there to do that.
I'll see you in heaven.
You know what I'm saying? And if you don't, I'm like, Miller, you don't go over here and high five me right now.
We will slap you dead.
Anyways, I want to add something. Okay. I mean, Steve hasn't had to talk.
Oh, yeah.
He's been sick.
I know.
I tried to move the camera as much as
killing that water.
Yeah. So just to speak to all of this, because, you know, my dad is a pure entrepreneur, pretty much.
Awesome.
He's had his own plumbing business since 1980.
Wow.
So... because he went to school for city planning, but when he graduated in 76, it just wasn't a big thing. You know, there just wasn't enough work where he was at. So he tried his hand in accounting. And he was just so my dad just isn't wired to be in corporate America anyway. So
some people aren't.
Yeah. So after a few months, he just walked away. He just walked off. My parents have a tendency to do that. And you know, they both walked off jobs when it just doesn't, you know what I mean? They're both entrepreneurial that way. So,
so they go to lunch. So they go to lunch and don't come back. They're like, homeboy from the Bills.
Yes. The guy, the halftime, get out. You know what I mean? So
text your wife and say, meet me at the car. There's a game going on still, right?
He's still in the crowd and everything. So he just tried he was always good with his hands. So he started as a handyman business. And then he figured out that he could get a lot more jobs specializing in plumbing. Wow. So he applied for his license when you could get your master's straight. You could go straight to your master's. You know, you didn't have to do journeyman and then master. You could be a master if you studied hard enough and passed all the tests. Mm-hmm. Boom. So,
hey, that was your daddy did?
Yes.
Exactly.
So he studied, you know, he got what he needed to like do it for people, but then, you know, he wanted to be the master. So his first attempt at the master, he didn't pass, but then he passed the second time. You know, his uncle had lent him the money for the test, and you know he passed. You know, and he's had his own business ever since. ever since the 80s. So
That's awesome.
So my whole childhood, I saw my dad be able to fix his schedule for vacations. He just worked some jobs, and then we go on vacation. And my mom either stays home with us. You know, I didn't go to daycare growing up. You know what I mean?
They kept 2 years, and that was it.
One for like a month.
And then when she needed to, she went out and got a job. But that was like very rare. It was like 2 or 3 years out of like my whole time going to school.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You know, so I always saw the work that he had to put in, and I lived in fear of it. I was like, I'm going to get me my 401k. I'm going to get me my real job or whatever. So I pursued that for most of my adult life.
Yeah.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
But I
But
ain't getting that itch.
yeah, I get that itch just with this venture. With a lot of other stuff that I do too, you know, with like graphics and stuff like that.
Amazing
You
graphics.
know,
Amazing.
Jeez.
Amazing.
Really?
Oh
graphics,
my
yo.
god.
Why
That
didn't I
dude
know about
fire.
The
this?
cartoon, that was him.
That was you.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Most of all our art. and
It's
stuff-
him.
No, 100% all our art.
It's him.
Just like, and I remember you mentioning to me that you were talented with the pencil, but like
That was him.
I never realized that was your stuff.
I
Yeah.
drew that on this tablet.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
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 Tablet at
Yeah.
that.
He has special
Yeah.
paper that.
I mean,
it's great.
I got the little tablet thing, but nah.
Yeah,
that's
that guy-
dope.
He got skill, man.
Yes.
I keep telling him, man.
Yes,
Stop
no.
playing. And he got the perfect voiceover.
yeah.
Yeah, and I want to produce.
Like he got
that
three.
too.
He got
All
like
right.
he got 3 things that can make money for him.
To
Right.
narrate people's lives.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Be the next
That'd be
Morgan
great.
Freeman.
Yeah.
The Emperor Penguin. But so now it's like it's more of an itch. Like you see, you know, being able to do this podcast, being able to do those graphics for the church and for the podcast as well, it just proves yourself more and more like, okay, I could do this.
Yeah.
But what would it take? I'm gonna have to, you know, I'm making this money right now, I'm making more money than I ever made in my life. Which is, it's not a ton, but it's more than I've made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, you get this itch like, I really could do this and have this open, you know, these sources of income, you know, really.
Yeah.
pursue it.
And you still
Yeah.
have a 401k.
Yeah.
And you still can do it. Yes, you
I
can make
mean,
one for yourself.
Roth
Yeah.
IRAs, all that
Magically.
stuff. Like you
Yeah.
can
You
just
do
like
it
all
for
that
you.
stuff. Yeah, you do it for you because believe it or not, you know what I mean. Like I feel like if we pursue our passions strong enough and do our due diligence and doing it, because just like sometimes I even do it to myself. Like I say, I just do it for fun. You know
Yeah.
what I mean. Even though I know deep down in the inside I love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? I was like, I'm just doing fun. It's my fail safe to say, hey, if I fail, I didn't put too much into it.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, because it do break your heart when
Yeah.
you put your heart into something
Yeah.
and it fall apart. And you be
Yeah.
like, oh my
Oh,
God,
yeah.
I just put so many hours into that and then it just broke.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know what to do. I hate everybody. But, you know, but that's what I'm saying. That's like a fail safe for us as humans. And just like, even I was talking to Ricardo Dunmood, he was like, yo, don't you think that's a crutch for you? I was like, you know what? You might be right, bro.
Dang.
You might be right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's the thing, like, I have to believe and achieve, because it's like, I was like, man, it's honestly just like Tupac said, you know what I'm saying? You come 18, you're ready for life to fight and to take over the world. By the time you turn 35, you be like, man, I don't got beat up so much, I don't want to do nothing in my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just want to work and go home. I'm tired of fighting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I just want to hop in the box with the rest of you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now
That's a
I don't
hard
start
place
back.
to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now I don't start standing outside the box like, I don't think I want to go in there today.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, that box is stupid. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And,
Seriously though.
and one more thing, I just want to, you know, say this to everybody doing their thing. We always say to ourselves, like, you know, we do a thing, but man, don't other people do this? Don't other people make movies? Don't other people take pictures? Don't
Yeah.
other people make people laugh and, you know, start media companies and
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
logistics? Don't other people do graphics? But those tools are out there, but nobody does it the way you do
I
it.
would-
That's what I was about to
You
say.
do it,
I was.
or you
That's what I
do
was about
it,
to
or
say.
I do it.
Everybody
Yeah.
is
You know what I
their
mean?
own niche.
Cause just like
Exactly.
one of my homegirls put up a picture of a bread owl saying the same thing. Like people talk about you doing it, you just doing something somebody else doing. She took a picture of the bread owl. You know how many different kinds of bread it is, but they all said all one kind of white. white bread, all one kind of wheat bread, and different people sell different kinds of wheat bread.
Exactly.
They doing the same thing everybody else doing.
Yeah.
But nobody does it like they do it. You know what I'm saying? So you can sell yourself even if somebody's standing right beside you, because guess what? I can put on a better show than you. You know what I'm saying? I can sell myself better than you. I am convinced I am better than you.
And here's something that, just being realistic, you know, sometimes I think, and I've done this to myself, you almost put yourself in this idea that, like, only certain people can get certain work.
Yeah.
You know, and just like you said, everybody has their own thing. Like, I was thinking about it, I feel like the second I got a camera, it felt like everybody I knew suddenly had a camera.
Right.
It's like,
You flip around like, dude.
it's like, you a photographer too?
Yeah,
You
you a photographer too? Yeah.
I've known you forever. I never seen you with a camera.
Exactly.
And now all
It's
of a
like you
sudden-
went to buy a camera and then they were like, me too.
Oh, let me pull it out now.
And now it's like I start feeling crazy because I'm like, dang, like I'm really just getting started trying to figure out my life in this world of photography, and everybody else has got something going on. Something that I realized shortly after it, not everybody's is really willing to go for it.
Yeah.
A lot of these people,
Some people play with it. It's a plaything for them.
Yeah, the people, whether it's photography, acting, whether it's graphics and art, or, you know, just talking, making people laugh, dropping gems for people.
Yeah.
You know, it could be anything. Like, a lot of people do it just as a thing to do. They talk about, oh yeah, it's something that I like to do, but then they don't actually do it. It's kind of like the concept of where Will Smith, he always drops little gems on his Instagram, and he says he runs into people who are fans, and they all say, like, yeah, I want to be an actor, and he's like, only 99% of the people are not gonna do the work needed. It's still the same thing.
Yeah.
Anybody can go. I notice everybody with any kind of camera now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, majority of people are not actually gonna put in any real work to do what I'm trying to do. So it's something that it's like motivation for me. I'm like, yo, there's enough work to go around.
There is.
Like, there's this one guy who's getting all this work.
People on this earth.
Yeah.
Exactly.
One guy can get a handful of work, but that doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't have something going on the same days. I can get work too.
Yeah.
You know, I just, at the same time, I have to do my part. I have to fight for it. I can't be mad when I'm like sending my portfolio out to people and I'm not getting hired and my portfolio look like trash. Whose fault is that? That's my fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, even like I always say, and it's something all my old heads say, like, you gotta stay ready for you won't have to get ready. You know what I mean?
That is good.
That's so real.
The person that always have to fumble like, oh snap, I gotta put something together.
Right.
You ain't been thinking about what you've been having to do. You don't take this seriously.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because if you're a true artist and a true photographer, you always got a portfolio around.
Yeah.
Ready to show some of your best work, because your best work should already be put together. It shouldn't be just something you just went and snapped out that day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, build yourself. Have yourself ready for when people say, hey, let me see some of your work. Or let me, hear some of your best podcasts. Or let me see, how far you going with your media company. All that stuff like that.
So right.
How you coming with your film angles? How do you have you perfected, you know what I'm saying, the art of capturing life, which is film.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Like, if you constantly building on those things, you see how little people put into what they say they want to do.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? Like, you be like, oh, that's just something you just like to say you do. You like the way it sounds. That's what that is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of times that's what it is.
Exactly, because even just like the pictures I watched and seen on your Instagram and stuff like that, they are very good. And I was like, dang, this dude just scratching the surface. Like, when he really know how to do the things he doing, when this work actually pay off, he gonna have stuff that people gonna have in museums and say, hey man, this picture was so beautiful.
Willing.
I just had to blow it up and put it in the
I had to buy it.
I had to put it in the Met. Sorry guys, I bought this picture for $1 million and hung it up in the Met Gala. You know, it was beautiful. It made me cry.
Yeah, like something you said, and I'll just say this, a saying that I've held on to for probably close to a decade, and it's kind of like spin off of that. Success is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah.
If you are not doing your part to be ready, it's not going to happen.
Success gonna do just like that. Oh, you ain't ready, Pierre.
Yeah, because what's going to happen is eventually you are going to run into that person who could have given you a shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you're going to feel like an idiot because you will be fumbling. You know, in my case, it would be like, oh, I've got pictures, or I've got like a reel that I've got to put together in like 2 hours to send to send to these people.
Yeah.
And you, like, tape a reel, let alone edit it and put it together. To send to somebody,
You're going to be able to tell that this was rushed.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
But if I fine tune now and I do what I have to do now, which is that's more so what I'm trying to do. Like I'm right now I'm looking for models. Like I'm trying to get people so I can get some legitimate shots and really build my portfolio.
Right.
Like up until this point, I've been learning.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, now we're gonna flip the switch. I've done gigs, I've done jobs, and like I've done work, but that was never for me. That was for other people.
Right.
Now it's time for me to do and start building on mine. So it's like, okay, I need to get this down.
Yeah.
So when that person comes to me, oh, I got what you need.
Yeah.
That's what
you don't. You
for?
have to look no further. Like,
Exactly.
Right.
Because it's like that's like something we always talk about. Being able, like one reason I want to build the media collective that I want to build is just to be able to say, hey, I know somebody that can do this. Let me give you their contact info.
Boom.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like all the people we've been running across is in interviews lately. They all have a skill set, and it's in entertainment or just life. You know what I mean? And I pray that they get to the point where I can just connect and plug people. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the plug for people. You know what I mean? Because, like, just like I tell people all the time, I'm very good at, like, delegating and saying, okay, that's what you need. I know a person for that. You know what I mean? And I want that to be this. You know what I'm saying? I want that to be, you know what I'm saying? I just want to be able to, help people be the best they can be, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see my friends not succeeding because I don't do my part to promote them. I don't do my part to push them.
See, what you need to do is go ahead and recreate a dungeon fam. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, well, I know you from the South.
Yeah.
Like, a group of people who all have the same goal, whether it's, something in a different lane or not, like, you have to legitimately support each other. Like, that's a big aspect of, like, what I've been recently learning, like, the Instagram algorithm.
Yeah.
Like, how a lot of people start beating it is by getting into, like, they're not really called support groups, but I just can't remember the technical term. But it's pretty much it's like a group of people. They post at the same time, and then they all like and comment on each other's stuff. Because your first hour, which a handful of people already know, your first hour of activity when you post on Instagram, that determines whether or not it's going to be seen again.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you're not hot in that first hour, I'm sorry, bro, you just not hot. Like, and so what these companies and people do, they watch each other's back. When you post, we know when we're all gonna post at 5:36 or whatever the case may be. I post and I go to each and every one of your profiles and we comment a certain kind of comment, not that 2-word comment. It's got to be like X amount of words or more, so it looks like people are really engaged. Yeah.
Then it pops up.
Exactly.
And then it gets to more.
And now all of a sudden you're getting on that top 9 feed and explore. Or when you click on a hashtag, you're top 9. That's how you get that exposure. But you have to have people actually interacting. So it's like you got to get a group of people. Like, people, start organizing something like that.
Yeah.
So you guys know, and everybody knows, like, depending on the time frame you put it on there will depend on how many hits you'll get. You're supposed to, you can use up to 30 hashtags.
Right.
Use them all.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to use all these tools because one of them's not going to work. You can hit 30 hashtags all you want, but if you're the only one out there
hashtagging, it don't mean nothing.
Like, you're only going to get so far.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just started a brand new Instagram and like I've made okay progress for me being by myself.
Right. Yeah.
But if I can start linking with other people and we start building something special, all of a sudden you can see these numbers start to slowly build up. And next thing you know,
more traction.
Yeah, and once you break like 5,000 followers, it's a wrap. After that, you do the same thing and it just comes that much easier. But it's like you have to be a part of these groups. So it's like just something of what you're saying, like connecting people is so real.
Yeah, because even like on one of my like Instagrams where where I was just like, man, I make posts about you slammed Elijah.
Dang, you just gonna ease out there like that.
Yeah,
He didn't come back. So,
but it's just like one of the videos that I posted on there. Just like one of like the gym that I'm a part of. Like they posted that joint and it went everywhere. You know what I mean? Because she was just like, yeah, you see this smile. This is person in this group right here at one of our Lifetime gyms in Woodstock, Georgia. And I'm talking about people from everywhere were coming on this thing. I was just like, who are these people? I don't know these people. And it went, viral. And I was just like, oh, snap, it went viral. Because like most times I'm just sitting in the zone and I'm just talking. I'm sweating, I'm hot. You know what I mean? And I'm just talking.
I'm sweating, I'm hot.
Usually what happens when you sweat.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, just, see how, because it's like, even that algorithm punch through that you're talking about, because that's basically how I see him. I see him, it's just like.
You're welcome, live people.
Who? Yeah, we did give you some nuggets.
You're welcome.
Like, if you ever trying to. Armani just hooked y'all up.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean,
but this is all information that everybody can learn.
Exactly.
Yep,
but
like we said, the tools are out there.
I'm about to say the
Yeah.
tools are out there, but few
there.
people use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because even though I said that, majority of y'all are not
Gonna
gonna do
use
that.
it.
Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Majority of people will not do it.
But now, you know what I mean? I know I will, because I've been brainstorming ever since you said it. Like, this part of my brain has been thinking.
All I say is remember me when you're
Oh, yeah,
groups
because
together.
I mean, you're going to be the first person I talk to.
Appreciate
you know what I
it.
mean? Because I was like, I understand that. I did not know that, but now I know.
Yeah.
I like loopholes.
And it's so much more to
I'm
it.
a perfecter.
You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta
I'm going to perfect.
be engaged.
Yeah, this is true.
So, hey, man, it's a good show,
That's
man.
good.
Got some
Yeah.
nuggets out
Final
there,
thoughts?
You know what
Final
I mean?
thought
Even though
time.
Mella, you know what I'm saying, just slowed the show up in the beginning with her tomfoolery.
Oh.
Is this
Oh.
gonna get empowering you? That testosterone.
No, this is what
You
me
know-
and Mella do every time we see each other. We battle. It's a part of me
It's-
toughening her up.
Okay.
There's a reason
Ain't
she
no,
sits
ain't
here.
no kind exactly, because I tell you, Bella gonna be at the upper echelon of sisters. By the time a brother approaches, he gonna be worthy.
Excuse me.
I mean,
You
Upper
did that verbiage in the box.
Hey, he's gonna appreciate my burst. They're gonna be
I'm
royalty.
like, you know what I mean? And I'm walk up to him, I'm look him in his face, like, I'm not killed.
Oh,
You know what I'm
really?
saying? If he jump, I'll be like, Mella, leave him alone. He ain't ready.
Oh,
That's what I was waiting to hear. Whether or not he flinched.
If he flinch, I'm like, he ain't no count. Leave him alone. He ain't gonna make it in the
wow.
world. Some splinter in his hand, he gonna cry. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, final
Brother,
thoughts.
right.
correct.
So, this was refreshing. Love to have people on here and share their various experience and whatnot. So, just glad to be able to collaborate like this. That's just what's in my heart right now. So,
Oh, your heart.
thank you, Mr. Hassan Marie.
Thank you very much for having me on
Yeah,
here.
man,
Just
glad
to
to
share.
have you on here, man. Like, anytime, man. I know you're a good, solid brother, so I
I
wasn't
appreciate it.
worried about what you would bring.
Yeah, I
know
know
you
some
have-
brothers you gotta check. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't go there. man.
Yo, that's
Right,
good,
let's not
man.
go there.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
I'm kidding, but not kidding.
I kid, but I don't. But
goodness.
final thoughts, Melody.
Some encouragement. Don't stop comparing yourselves to where everybody else is at. Focus on where you are, where God has you, if that's who you believe in. But just focus on where you are, because I think a lot of times when you compare yourself to others, you get ahead of yourself, and I think that's where the doubt starts to creep in, and you start just lack of motivation. It's a lot of things that kind of spiral down from that. So, like they were talking, you all have a unique audience because you're a unique person. Nobody else can be you.
Yeah.
And the dreams and visions that God has placed on your heart, or the dreams or visions that you have, are yours. It's about, having the work ethic to make those things become a reality. And I think that's what people don't realize, like, you know, his Will Smith comment, you know, it's like people want to be an actor, but like 99% won't want to do the work that it requires for it to become possible. So, you know, I just want you to encourage you that comparing yourself is only killing you. And, you know, I think that when you really focus and hone in on, like, the dreams that you have on your heart, like, and making them become reality, like, everything else around you won't even really matter, because you're catering to who you need to cater to, and you're impacting who you need to impact, and you're making a difference where a difference needs to be made.
Bam.
Drop on the clues bombs.
That's it. Final thoughts, Mr. Marie.
Well, just to say again, this was great to be here. You have to know, you know, at the end of the day, it boils down to you. Like, what's in your heart. You know, there is, if nothing's placed on your heart, then that's fine. That just means that you're open to what God can use you to do. But if God has placed something on your heart, you trust Him with it, and be okay with making the sacrifice. Be okay with the journey, and understand that, you know, something big of what Mel was saying. It reminded me of a conversation I was having with my wife last night about comparison. It's like you can't compare yourself to people, because you're comparing your beginning to somebody else's middle or somebody else's end, and that's not fair.
It's not.
It's not.
So
That's good.
be okay with your journey. Trust your journey. Trust that God will sustain you. You have to just simply have faith and be willing to put in the work.
Right.
That's true.
That was good. I got the title after. The title will be "Your Journey is for You."
Yeah.
Nobody else. Hashtag I'm talking to the man in the mirror.
Oh, that's a long hashtag.
That is, but you know, that's real though.
Final thoughts, Stephen L.
Oh, he already did.
I already did mine.
He already
You did?
Did you? He did. He did it first.
From his
I did it
heart.
first.
Oh, that was his final thing?
That was my
Yeah,
first.
that was his.
Oh, you did say final thoughts and then
Yeah, and then he went into
So it's my turn.
Yes.
sir.
Dang, I think I forgot what I was gonna say.
It's crazy.
Why are you thinking of it?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. I was just playing.
Oh.
See, you know what I mean?
It's that bait and switch that he was talking about earlier.
I this whole thing, this discussion, I've been thinking about, like, that parable where it's talking about the broad road and the narrow gate. You know what I mean? And it kind of like just kind of put that in perspective for me right now. Like, I was like, dang, man, like it's real easy to take that broad road. It's so much easier, it seems. You know what I'm saying? But it's so much better to come through taking the path less traveled. You know what I mean? Like, and even when it just got to deal with the things that come up in your own life, you know what I'm saying? Like your own adventure with God, and what entails of it. What do you have to give up? Even just like when we got baptized, we had to give up our old ways. We had to renew our minds. We had to renew our spirit. And just to get to the point where, like, now we're able to use said things that we learned before we got baptized and make them applicable to the things that we're trying to pursue in our lives. You know what I'm saying? And just knowing that, like, through it all in all, is just like going through that narrow gate. You know what I'm saying? Fitting through the eye of the needle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is where God promises for your life reside. You know what I mean? Through your career, through your salvation, your family, your friends, people you don't know that you haven't come in contact with, the people that are going to see, you know, most of the time, only people acknowledge your walk after the finished product. They don't never see your progression as you're going through your growing pains, the hurts, the pains, the sleepless nights, the times that you just stayed up and you in front of a screen trying to make it work, figure out to put things together.
Yep.
Nobody gets to see that. You know what I mean? And once once you say, hey, that's what it takes to get there, and they be like, oh,
I'm not.
I thought
it was easy.
Man, that broad road though.
Oh,
you know
that broad road though.
So, you know what I mean? So I have to try to fit through that. I have to try to, you know what I'm saying, find my faith in this hardship. You know what I'm saying? I have to have integrity when I can just give up and just go wild out and throw away my promises. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what most people that choose the easy way, they throw away their promises. They choose to opt out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just to hear the steps you took and to have the support, and even though you know, hey, this ain't gonna be easy for me, but this is what I honestly know that God said I can have this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say it was gonna be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He didn't say, "Oh, I promise you all the riches of the world," but I know you will be satisfied.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know you'll be able to come home to your family with love in your heart.
Yeah.
Because you've been doing what you love.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing that we have to kind of like just look forward to in the things that we pursue, our arts, our artistic way, because I feel like we are a collective of artistic people.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So
even in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Even some people off camera, y'all get to see her December 2nd. But I don't know when Elijah want to come on. He may not want to come on.
He's not paying attention.
I know he.
I am paying
Oh, now he's paying attention.
Exactly. I want to hear about his lunar project
I'm
too.
just
I
teasing
ain't-
him.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, yo,
Yeah.
he's been doing that.
I ain't
coming
get
out
I ain't get the
January
hear
19th,
and
right?
listen
Yep.
to his good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
But you know, I would love to hear that. You know, it's a room full of artists right now. Y'all don't see them, but they
For
in
real.
here. So you know, I just feel like just to say as an encouragement to everybody that's listening or watching or both, pursuing the good things of life is hard.
Yeah.
Because you have to make difficult choices.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to give it your all because nobody else is going to give it their all for you. What's yours is yours. Pursue it no matter how hard it is, no matter how hard you have to cry, no matter how hard you have to try and fail. Keep going. You will win.
Mm-hmm.
That's my final thought.
Can I?
Mel, what do you got to say?
Please say this. Please say this.
Say
Well, there's
Thug
two
love.
things. One, I don't know why this person said that his dad's bald, but that's neither here nor there.
Who is
Thanks.
James
I don't-
Peters?
Thanks for your input.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I don't.
You have a son?
But no, I think with everything, it just reminded me of a topic that I shared at the all night prayer, which was talking about contentment. And there was a video that I shared. It was about this little boy. He was very upset about just his appearance. Like he had tattered clothes, torn shoes, and he just was wishing that he was someone else because people were teasing him and stuff like that. He ran into this guy at a park, or a little boy at the park, and the boy was trying to be nice to him, but he was like embarrassed or shameful. And so he kind of went off to himself, and he was like in front of this tree, and he was like, I wish I was like him. I wish I was like him. And then they switched bodies. So in the background, you see this boy just jumping for joy. The boy that was on the bench is now like in the background in his clothes. The boy that, wish he was him in the background, just running around the tree, excited. You can hear him yelling in the background. And he's sitting on the bench. He has these new shoes. He has these new clothes. But then this woman pulls up with a wheelchair. He's like, oh, I'm sorry for taking so long. I'm here now. And it kind of is a perspective shift for me because it's like, a lot of the times we're so focused on what everybody else is doing, but we don't even know what they're doing to get to the places that they're at. They could be lying, they can be stealing, they could be doing a lot of things. And I think you know, it kind of put things in perspective, because when you do start comparing yourself to other people, you start feeling shameful. You start feeling, you know, doubtful. You start feeling all these different things. And then, you know, that spirals into something else, and then you just give up altogether. But then when you wish for those things, it's like, be careful what you wish for, because you don't really know, like, oh, do you want to go exactly through what I went through? Because you think about Viola Davis, you want to be in a rat-infested apartment, vying for your life.
You really want to climb out this mud. It sounds funny in the song. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
But to actually have to do it,
No,
trust.
cut out for it.
I was trying to say, everybody ain't meant to make it. You know what I mean? And that's just a simple fact. That's one thing that my mom taught me. Just like, it's few of your friends are going to be with you for the rest of your life, because everybody is not going the direction that you're trying to go.
True.
I know your dreams. I know your heart. I know your mind. So don't expect them to follow.
Yeah. I remember a brother told me, and this is kind of like a way to really just sum up what you were saying. It's like, you can't want what somebody else has unless you want the struggle that comes with it. That's like what that boils down to. It's so real. You just don't know what people's lives are and what they go through. So
that's right. You don't know how heavy them shoes is.
Sheesh.
They look like running shoes.
Yeah, when you see somebody else running in them.
But they built up the strength to do that. It's like the Saiyan suit. No.
You had to bring it back.
I did. I had to bring it back. I started with Ultra Instinct, and I ended up going back to DBZ. So,
A comment.
So yes, this has been Convrs8, and this has been awesome, you guys.
Thanks
for tuning in.
This is the most calm I ever been.
I know this is.
This is great.
Episode.
Oh my gosh.
You're welcome.
You need to go to Dustin.
Sleep over
You know what I'm
with
saying?
our mellow moves. And
I know.
Right.
Armani made me tone my voice down because he's talking so cool. The match is cool. I was just like,
Disclaimer.
Darius.
Wow,
Let's
that takes
Get out.
talent. There's a lot of music in that movie.
So this is Convrs8. You know what I mean? This is a show. You know what I'm saying? Variety. We love you guys. We would like for you to like our stuff on Apple, Google Podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Rate us, like us, subscribe to our YouTube, because this would be the avenue which we will be going live in.
We are
Share with your
building it
friends.
from
We are
ground up.
building it from the ground up. We had a great following on Facebook, but Facebook punched us in the mouth.
Click the notification bell.
So click the notification bell, like Stevie
Thanks,
Neal
Facebook.
say, ring that bell.
Ring that bell.
And you know, we glad to have y'all, man. And I pray that more of this will be to come. I like the tone that we're setting now. You know, I know haters are coming. You know what I mean? I kind of always prepare myself for the haters. I'm just, you know, that's how I am. I'm war ready.
We ready.
You know what I mean? But we love you guys, man. We thank y'all for tuning in. We thank y'all for listening another Sunday with us. I pray to y'all this brings some light to y'all week.
Yes.
We love y'all. This is Convrs8. We talked about it.
We did that.
We did.
You talked about it.
Yes.
Dang, Melly, you was so slow on that.
I mean, I thought you was gonna say your name.
Hump that. I already said that the first time.
But
Oh, and shout out to Denar J. Moore.
Who?
One of my close friends or whatever.
That's your
he and his
son?
wife
Oh.
had their daughter, Lennox Nicole Moore,
Dang, I thought you
at
said
6:30 this
Congrats.
morning.
Yes,
Around 6:30 this morning.
Congrats.
So congrats.
Congrats.
First baby girl.
Congratulations.
On the break, on come. Never mind. This is a family show.
yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say
Thank
something.
you, guys.
Stay
Thank you,
checked.
Holy
We
Spirit.
stay
Right.
checked. We stay checked.
Woo.
Yeah, you missed that one because I
Thank you,
really
Holy
wanted to
Spirit.
say it, but
Don't say it. Okay, I
Thank
feel
you.
like now he's talking. It might come
I'm
out,
Stevie
so-
Neal.
Right.
I'm Stevie Neal. It's gonna take Slide to stop.
But I'm gonna end it the right way since Melody said I didn't say my name. This
Thank
is
you.
Darius J
And I'm Stevie Neal.
And this your girl, Mela G.
with special guest,
Armani Marie.
and this is
Convrs8.
Convrs8.
We talk about it.
Gia Christ.
Yeah, okay.